Hey, Real Nerds listeners, your favorite host Ryan here to remind you that social media is great. How great is it? There's many ways you can find the Real Nerds on social media. You can download us on iTunes. You can listen to us streaming on Stitcher Radio. You can call us 720-6nerds5. Aw man, our website is so cool. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You want to leave some fan mail? Oh, that's so easy, realnerds@gmail.com. Twitter? We got it, @real_nerds. You can even like us on Facebook. Thank you so much, and hey, enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic-Con 2015 and beyond. I am Ryan, and with me always is
James.
Brad sadly couldn't make it. He's locked in a basement and with no food and or water, so hopefully he'll be able to claw his way out, and he'll be back next week. So we'll wait and see. If he doesn't make it, oh well.
That's interesting. I watched a TV show about that this week.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Cool. But in Brad's place, we have Randy, our comic guy. What's up, Randy?
Not much, guys. How's it going? How's everybody doing?
Well, and how's everything going?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Hanging in there? It's
Yeah.
been a while since we've saw you.
It has been a very long while. So, it's, with the job and everything, I don't work 4 days a week now. So I'm like, if I can come back, it'd be great.
Yeah, always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you.
The door is always open, unless I'm not here when you get here, and I just got a text from you saying, "Hey, I'm here."
Knock
Sorry
on the
about
door,
that.
and I'm all like, okay.
Cool. So, as always, Real Nerds Podcast is brought to you by the Alamo Drafthouse in Denver, and here's what's playing this week at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Hello, I'm Tim League, the CEO of the Alamo Drafthouse. Here again to tell you about the newest Drafthouse Recommends title, Ex Machina. Though I am incapable of love, I felt a deep bond with this original and thrilling sci-fi film, and my calculations tell me that humans will, too. So, without further ado, please ingest the trailer for the newest Drafthouse Recommends title, Ex Machina. Goodbye.
How long until we get to his estate?
We've been flying over his estate for the past 2 hours.
Caleb, I'm just gonna throw this out there so it's said, okay? You're freaked out. You're freaked out to be meeting me, having this conversation in this room at this moment, right? But can we just get past that? The whole employer-employee thing?
It's good to meet you, Nathan.
It's good to meet you too, Caleb. This building isn't a house. It's a research facility. And I want to talk to you about what I'm researching. You want to see something cool? You are dead center of the greatest scientific event in the history of man.
Hello,
Hi. Do you have a name?
Ava.
Answer me this. How do you feel about her?
Her AI is beyond doubt.
No, nothing analytical. Just how do you feel?
I feel that she's amazing.
Good.
Do you want to be my friend?
Of course.
Will it be possible?
Why would it not be? Did you know that Nathan brought me here to test you?
Caleb, you're wrong.
Wrong about what?
Nathan, you shouldn't trust anything he says.
Does Ava actually like you? Or is she just pretending to like you? Self-awareness, manipulation, sexuality.
Are you attracted to me?
Now, if that isn't true AI, what is?
Caleb, there's something I want to show you.
Can we talk about the lies you've been spinning me?
What lies?
Today, I'm going to test you.
Why me?
Caleb, you have to help me.
Where's the real test?
You.
Is it strange to eliminate something that hates you? What will happen to me if I fail your test?
I left a little space there this time because
You did. It was great.
You've been putting in sweet PSAs in it.
Yeah.
The one I
This
saw
is really-
before today was awesome.
Did you see the one for Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I hope that comes out that week because there's nothing else that comes out that week.
I just hope I can find that on YouTube and that all the listeners already heard that.
So next week is there actually a really cool week. Duel, which is Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Hell yeah.
That's
is
so good.
And the trailer I saw before Furious 7
Dude, I
this
love
week,
Duel.
I got really excited to
And
see
that
it.
is, I'm curious whether or not that's a recut trailer or something, because I've seen Duel. That's a really good trailer that doesn't feel like the original trailer.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to sell that movie, even though I think it's a good movie, but
Yeah.
I mean, people other
Yeah.
besides this. Also, I think this was pretty interesting. The craft dinner this week is Major League with Victory Brewing. Which I love Major League. One of my favorite lines in it is, everyone talks about Wild Thing or Up Your Butt Jobu or whatever. But my favorite is they're all sitting at a dinner and Charlie Sheen's character is Rick Vaughn and he's sitting there and he has a cut off leather jacket and a cut off shirt with a tie. And he's really uncomfortable and they say, "Hey, Rick, are you all right?" He's like, "No, I feel like a goddamn banker." And he has a cut off shirt. It's funny. Another car, because obviously Furious 7, so the theme this month is kind of car chases.
Yeah.
And so Christine, which is a
that's
Stephen
so
King
good.
movie. Video Vortex, which only costs $1, is called Killer Workout. I don't know what that's about, but somebody tells me it's a horror movie about people who are doing jazzercise. I hope it is anyways.
That'd be awesome.
Uncalled For, FOUR, is a comedy sketch show, which will also be there.
Cool.
And then one of James's favorite movies from 3 years ago, Moneyball, is also showing.
I love that movie.
I'm just kidding. I love that movie too. It's great.
I
Brad
hope
Pitt's eating in it.
I hope old people don't attend that showing. Is that horrible? I just remember how bad my experience in theaters was that first time.
I had a
because
bad
of old
experience
people.
at Alamo today.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about it now, or should we wait until the review?
I mean, you can if you want.
Okay, what happened?
These people next to me won't stop talking, and
The worst.
I'm not going to mention names on the podcast, but remember last week after it was all done and we were talking about when we had bad experiences, and I talked about my server from Friday the 13th?
Yes.
See, the craft dinners there, it's like a prefixed menu, so
Right.
all they have to do is bring you your food. They already make it.
Oh,
and,
really?
And the person who was waiting on me always forgot me. I was in row 2 and I was the last person. I think there was like 6 or 7 other people in the row, so he'd always come down with 6 or 7 entrees or whatever it was, and then he'd look at me and basically, throw his hands up and like, "Oh, I forgot." And then I'd have to wait another 10 minutes before I got my salad, and then another 10 minutes before I got my hot dog and chili dog. So today, me and my wife went there, and the server came by, and I said, "Oh no, it's this person again." And so took the order, whatever, was fine, and he dropped off the popcorn, and the people next to us started talking, and they wouldn't shut up. So I put up a thing. I said, "Hey, the people next to me won't stop talking."
Right.
And the server gave me the thumbs up and went away and never came back. I didn't see him again until he dropped the check.
He's just like, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, and he
They just keep talking.
so he left. I mean, he didn't even pre-bus me or my wife's plates. And the thing is me and my wife have been out and about all day. And since I've been working out so much, like there's times when I get like super hungry.
Yeah, so you
Like,
ate a shit ton of food.
Yeah, so
and had a lot of plates left
So
over.
Well, yeah.
I said, so we ordered popcorn, and that took a while to get there. And then we each got an entree, and then we're done with that. So we just have this shit mounding up. Never came back after
tiny tables. I mean,
Yeah, after he came back
maybe
and
2
told me
foot by
that.
3 foot.
And about an hour and a half in the movie, my wife leans over to the people and is like, "Can you just shut up, please?" And then they were quiet. So my
Wow.
wife had to be the one to tell him. And then we didn't see him again until he dropped off the check.
Man, it's too bad we don't know a bunch of people who work there.
Have you done something that karma is just like kicking you in the ass?
No,
or
I
does
just-
this person just hate you, or
No, I just think some people don't know how to maintain their rows. I mean, me and James have gone there enough.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
There's some people that are amazing there.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And actually,
yeah.
I was really proud. I was walking by and Steve's name's on the outside of the
I know.
building.
I took a photo of it.
Nice.
I know. I was so excited. I saw that today, too.
Yeah, so it's really cool. But, people like Kendall, who always takes really good care of us.
Yeah.
But it's a hard job. I'm not saying it isn't.
No, not
but,
at all.
You know, when you serve, you have to be able to multitask.
Well, it's your job.
And the thing is, too, is he didn't even run any of our food or any of our drinks. So they obviously have food runners when it's really busy.
Right.
And hey, the theater was sold out. I'm not sitting here.
No,
but,
I mean, I wouldn't expect it
but
not
if
to
the
be.
people are sitting there talking, all he had to do is literally take that slip and like walk to the end of the aisle and wait till they started talking again, and then he could come back and tell them not to.
Right.
And it's just, and I could have put up another slip, but I never saw him again.
Well,
so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, what's it going to do? I mean,
Yeah.
it's, you know.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So it's the same person who I had a bad experience with before. And I mean, I don't want to name any names, but it's just
No, but
for
still.
the record, we have been there. I don't know, every week, more than once a week for the past 2 years.
Exactly.
And I have very few problems like
yeah,
that.
it's very few. But the thing is, too, I mean, I'm there.
I don't want anybody to like.
No, it's the person.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is
The few experiences
I'm there
I've had
so
were
much.
fantastic.
I have 7 victory rewards that I haven't even used yet.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
I don't
wow.
even know what I have.
You know, I have, I think, like 3 shakes, like 2 things of candy.
Oh, dude,
I'm sure I have a popcorn. I just forgot to ask for it.
I had to
But
print that shit off.
See, and it's going to be that one person that's going to crap on the experience for
Yeah.
everybody. I mean, it's just not.
and if he can't handle that, then they shouldn't give him Theater 7
Why?
at 7
Why
o'clock
should he even
on
have
Friday.
that job?
You know?
Yeah.
Are there not comment cards or something?
I'm sure there is, but again, I just whatever. I mean, I'm not knocking the theater. I love the theater, and even with that, the movie was so loud today, Furious 7, that I didn't
Yeah.
really have to worry about it too much.
Yeah.
But when it was, the quiet moments and they were still talking, it's just like, oh man! And then my wife had to be the one to tell me to shut up.
Like she's getting paid for it. Yeah, there's other
Yeah,
people that have.
we just had a bad, and I purposely chose the Alamo too, so I wouldn't have to deal with the bad audience.
You would think.
Yeah. But there was also a girl, my wife didn't even notice her, but she was, I don't know, to the left and one row down. Like her phone was on. I noticed I could tell she was on Facebook.
Oh,
and she was talking to her friends and stuff. Like, oh my god!
You're like, really? This is again. See, and that's what I mean. I went to the Mills when I saw it, and it was like me and maybe 25 other people. So it was a wonderful experience.
Wow! What time did you see that?
12:30 this morning.
Oh, yeah,
this
so
afternoon.
Yeah.
In IMAX. So
yeah. I had that experience at the Mills with The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Is the first showing in IMAX on that Thursday was like at 5 in the afternoon. I don't think anybody knew.
Yeah.
So me and my wife's friend went, and it was me and her and like 3 other people. It was awesome.
See, that's, I mean.
And they gave me like a bunch of free Spider-Man comics. And
That's awesome.
Nice.
so yeah,
That's what you want.
Besides that, I mean, go to the Alamo. I mean, it's not their fault people are bad.
No,
Yeah.
it's.
Nope.
I love it. So maybe I can request a server. Like, can I just get Kendall in this section? That'd be great.
Hey, maybe.
I've been
or,
trying
or
for
find
a
out
long time.
find out what their section is, then which row it
should.
is, and then
Yeah.
I wonder if I could, like, I guess I could message her on Twitter. Like, what section are you in today?
see, there you go.
But every week we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw Furious 7. We review the movie at the end of the show, and we'll tell you if you should go see it or not. And then we play the trailer, and then we spoil the movie for you.
This is not one where we can spoil that much, I don't think.
No, probably not. I'm pretty sure people know how it goes.
Yeah.
Um,
They race cars.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We also talk about movie news, what's coming out on Blu-ray, comic book news. We'll have Randy pick a comic book this week.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Box office numbers, stuff we've been watching. We're a movie podcast. We like to have fun. I've been playing video games. I've been playing Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh, yeah? How is it?
It's fun. Like, if you like Resident Evils, it's lots of fun.
Who doesn't?
If I've never played a Resident Evil game, will I like it?
No.
Okay.
It's fun if you want to kill zombies and monsters, but the
Yeah.
story, it deals a lot with previous Resident Evils. So
Okay.
I don't know if you can get a lot out of the character moments.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. I mean, you still get to shoot zombies and stuff.
Who doesn't like to shoot zombies?
And you have to figure out, there's some like badass huge guys that drag axes and jump through the ceiling and walls and stuff to get you. And, if you like to kill stuff like that.
I'm there.
And the cool thing is it's only $40 and it comes with, if you buy it on disc, it comes with 2 free extra episodes in it. And it has a raid co-op mode where you have to get from one end of like the island to the other by killing a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, there's lots of
Nice.
replay value in it. So I'd say get it. And I also got MLB The Show 15 and it's awesome.
Cool.
I mean, you have to like baseball. If you don't like baseball, you'll think it's a piece of shit. But
I've been playing a whole lot of Far Cry 4, and that
Nice.
game is really good.
I did download. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But one of the free games this week, or was it last week, was Vandal Hearts, and I really
Valiant Hearts?
Valiant Hearts.
Yeah. They're like World War I game?
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but I
Did
got
you
it.
download it?
Yeah.
Me too. It's I forgot that I started to download it, and this morning I turned on my PlayStation. It's like, bing! It's like, sweet. So, if you don't have PlayStation Plus, you have to get PlayStation Plus.
Seriously.
You literally get free game. They do like 3 or 4 free games a week.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
a month.
that's just for that one console.
Yeah.
There's also games on PS3 and there's games on Vita.
Yeah. So I'll also download.
Wow.
They have the Oddworld one that's on PS4 too. That I'll probably download.
Have you checked what the new ones are for this month?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I have to check that out. But yeah, I've been messing around with that.
Awesome. Very cool.
So yeah, we do nerd things.
We do.
So we'll start with comic books because we have a guest.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Oh, sorry, Randy.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
Cool. What should we be reading?
I would probably say something that would kind of blend in with both worlds, since you guys are really more into movies. The one that I've been keeping up on most regularly is the Grindhouse stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if you've
What is
caught
that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So what it is it's like, it reminds me of like the Twilight Zone TV show. It's the same basic, it's called Twilight Zone, but there's like little stories. So the way that Grindhouse works is like, it came out with a 8-part series first.
Cool.
And so the first series was Be Women from Mars, Part 1 and 2, which was the first 2 issues.
I like that
And
title already.
It's yeah, right? And it's got that sort of like 60s, 70s sort of Grindhouse movie sort of feel to it. It's just cheesy horror flicks and crazy sort of, I can't even explain it. I don't know. It's cheesy, but in a good way. Like, you definitely want to continue reading. And there's, like, it was a 2-part series, then a 2-part series, and a 3-part, and another 2-part. And then for whatever reason, they rebooted it to 1 again. So right now, issue 3 is out of the 2nd volume. And I left it in the car. I can't remember the dang name of it. But one of them was like a prison in space. One of them was some sort of a witch character or something. But they're all these really great, like, cheesy 60s, 70s horror flick sort of feel to them.
Very cool.
So, like, and they're Grindhouse, and then whatever the title is. So you'll have to be careful. But you can pick up, like, any 2 issues at random and get a story and walk away from it, and it would be fine.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Is it like a different writer for each little run? Or is it the same
different
guy?
writer, different artist for each story arc.
Sweet.
So it's just showcasing like all these different people's works, and it's, like I said, it's really great because you get that sort of interesting little, I don't know, it's movies or like stories that you hate to love because they're so cheesy.
Yeah. It's
So,
fun.
yeah.
It gets at like what comics used to be, which was this thing that you could grab any random one off of the rack at your local, grocery store, and you'd be good. Like you knew you were going to get a fun story out of that book.
Absolutely. This is the same way.
I'm glad you picked that because my pick was Amazing Spider-Man 203, where it was these midgets that were combined, these twin midgets that got powers, and they were called Fusion, and they sucked power out of the city. And then at the end, Spider-Man punches both of them really hard after he splits them. It's like, oh, it's just 2 midgets. Literally a line in the book.
Just 2 midgets.
Oh, it's just 2 midgets.
Yep. So, I mean, you probably picked a better one.
Yeah, I would say so too. I think that was a lot better. Very cool. Awesome. That sounds good. I'm gonna have to try to check
and
that
it's
out.
called Grindhouse?
Yeah, it's Grindhouse, but the main title of whatever the story arc is what you'll see the most.
Oh, okay, cool.
Grindhouse will be in small letters at the very top.
It's like the
cool.
anthology name, yeah.
Correct.
Cool.
Sweet.
And like I said, it's a Dark Horse title, so you'll...
Is it usually alphabetized under the G's?
Yes. You'll
Awesome.
find it under Grindhouse.
Cool. Very cool.
Love it.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, you want to hear my fun story from Mile High Comics this week?
Of course I do.
So, my little...
Is it better than mine?
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, Randy's got a pretty interesting story, too, we should do.
So, my little brother had an interview. He actually got the job of running a Sonic drive-through over here, so
cool.
Oh, nice.
Good for him. My little brother needs stuff like that. Anyways, he doesn't have a car, so I said I'd take him to the interview, which happened to be Shamrock Foods, which is a distribution company off of Pecos and I-70,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And,
Right over there. Yeah.
Right by
It was
Mile
just
High.
on fire like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
That's
Right
hilarious.
by
Really?
Mile High.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I went to Mile High, and I got this Harley Quinn shirt, but while I was there, too...
It's a cool shirt.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bruce Timm, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I was there, and I'm always the only issue I'm missing from the New 52 Batgirl is number 1. It's the only issue I'm missing. And so I was at Mile High, and they had it in the thing, but it didn't have a price on it. I was like, oh,
free.
Hopefully someone will give it to me for $2.99.
Right.
And I go up there, and the lady says, "Oh, let me look this up." I was like, "Okay." And she comes, she's like, "It's $40." I'm like, "I'm not going to pay $40
Thank you, no.
for a book that I can get for $7 somewhere."
We have it for 10. So
exactly. So yeah. If you could pull that aside for me, and I'll come pick it up from you.
I could.
I'm serious.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, "No, I'm good," and she got really mad at me.
Really?
Well, of course, because you wasted her time. How dare you?
But I did find a Batgirl wallet, so I was really excited. I mean,
That's pretty good.
How many times do you see a Batgirl wallet? So yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah. So, but it's funny though. I forgot to tell the part of the story. So she came. She's like, "It's $40." I said, "It's $40 with that tear in the corner."
Right.
And she said, "Well, that's what it says in the computer." I said, "Well, if it's near mint, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it."
Yeah.
And then she tried to tell me it's 20% off. So I said, "So it's 32."
Right.
I'm good.
Still, it's again, if it's got a tear in it,
that's what I mean. It should. If there's a tear in the corner, I would pay $5 for that book because to me that sounds like it's very good.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, or good.
Yeah,
probably good since it's a 2011
on the
book.
size of the tear. So yeah,
I mean it's noticeable if you look at it through the plastic. So
well, that's big enough. I mean, if you're talking like 1/4 inch, maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, yeah, you're talking like a fine to a very good.
Yep. So yeah, that was my. I told her no, and she was mad at me.
Again, how dare you waste her time?
I know.
So apparently, somebody drove their car into the front of that building.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you hear about that?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Randy was telling me about it.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So it's sad.
Yep.
And well, here's the thing: don't be going really fast at 2 o'clock in the morning in an area where you don't know where it's at.
Well, and it just what gets me the most is I used to work there, so it's like, well, I know the place is lit up like so I mean, at 17 years old, you hope that she wasn't drinking, though I've not heard one thing one way or the other, but
yeah, or you hope it wasn't the other thing where she was trying to hurt herself and succeeded.
Right.
So it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
But hey, sometimes Mile High Comics does good things. If you go there April 11th, they're doing a charity auction to raise money to help her family pay for her funeral expenses. So
cool.
If you want to help people out.
I'm going to try and send some stuff to donate, so maybe it'll help. I don't know. I try.
Yeah, you got to. Cool. So what do you want to start with this week, James?
I think we should do stats next.
Cool.
This is the box office stats.
So the number one movie is Home with 52 million, which is actually pretty big. They weren't tracking it that much. I don't know. Here's the thing is I'm not a big Jim Parsons fan. And when I hear him do voiceover work, his voice irritates me.
Yep.
So I can't get into it. My dad loves A Big Bang Theory, and he always wants me to watch it, but it's one of those shows I cannot see myself watching.
I've tried maybe 4 or 5 different episodes. I cannot get into
And see,
that.
the thing that James always says about me is what I see when I see like previews for it, where it's people who are writing pretending to be geeks,
right?
Instead
it's
of people
not
who
people
are
that really
actually
know,
like a Joss Whedon or something,
right?
I had a pretty interesting, I wouldn't even call it argument, but just conversation with a guy from work not too long ago who I generally respect as somebody who he's a geek. He's been through a lot of the things that I think that show is like he fits into that demographic well, and loves that show. And he's the first person that I really feel like most of my geek friends, when I talk about, or when that show comes up, they have that same reaction where they're like, yeah, I don't get that show. Like, it does not speak to me at all. And I don't know that it's completely a bias that comes from the fact that like all of your sort of like, not non-traditional geeks, like the people who aren't really what you would call a traditional geek, where they come to people and go like, oh, you would love this show. And I'm like, why? Because it's supposed to be about me? Like, it's not about me. Like,
right.
Can you understand that that's not me in the show?
Right.
But we had this really interesting conversation, and he made some good points. I was almost convinced that I should give that show another chance, but then we were also sitting there watching an episode, and I don't think I laughed at all. There were some fart jokes in there, and I was like, what the fuck? No.
Right.
Like, what? This is not what I would... No. This is not what I want. So, anyway. The movie we saw...
It Follows.
Came in at number 5 with $3.8 million. which is pretty good considering it was only in like 1,000 theaters. And then I was pointing out the fact that its percent of change week over week is over 1,000%. Because it was going from like 100 theaters to 1,200 theaters.
Well, here's the thing with that movie, though, is I'm actually impressed how much it did because it was supposed to come out on VOD and only in Alamos on the 13th. But because I think it's at 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, because it's getting such great reviews, they decided to pull it for 2 weeks and do a national release. Mm-hmm. And so they're banking on the fact that people on social media or wherever would say, hey, you should go see It Follows. And that it did $3.8 million in 1,200 theaters. That's pretty good.
I've told plenty of people they should go see that movie. And
me too.
Like, I don't even like horror movies, so.
Just because it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's really well done. It's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yep. Probably me too.
That and The Guest. Has anyone seen The Guest? Where the dude like shoots people. It's awesome.
No, I haven't seen it. Wasn't that from last year?
Technically, because it was released in like 5 theaters.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
it didn't come out on Blu-ray until this year, and that's the only way I could see it, so I'm counting it as this year.
Sounds good. I'm good.
So yeah, that's
cool.
stats.
Awesome. Blu-rays?
Blu-rays. Blu-rays.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Nothing.
The Foo Fighters Sonic Highways comes out this week, which is the TV show about...
Oh, that's the one where they went to different sounds across the country, right?
It's like a TV show sequel to Sound City, which I really liked Sound City, so I haven't gotten a chance to check this out, but I
guess I'll probably watch it. I want to see this one, too.
Yeah, A Most Violent Year, which is the Jessica Chastain, Oscar Isaac movie that I actually really like the trailer
Isaac in that we're going to see?
I don't think he's ever going to be in a movie again.
He's in 2. Actually, he's coming out in one that's the next Alamo recommends.
That is true. Okay, I could have made that joke instead of the just straight up avoiding Star Wars entirely.
Yeah.
But he's going to be in Ex Machina, which looks awesome.
I know, like it seems kind of like a horror movie, right?
Yeah. This is the second time we've talked about it, and people have already listened to a trailer for it. So,
yeah,
but that's okay. It looks really good. I'm excited. There's also a Blu-ray release of Hooper with Burt Reynolds.
You know, they're putting a bunch of Burt Reynolds Blu-rays out.
Yeah, did he die or something?
I think he
did
needs
we
money.
miss something?
More plastic surgery, maybe.
I don't know what it is. But I mean that's pretty much it. There's not much else.
Oh, dude, you forgot Doris Day Essential Collections,
The Brady Bunch,
Kid
the complete
Rock
series,
Yellowbird. What the hell is that?
Holy shit, Yellowbird with Seth Green and Danny Glover.
Is there any Ninjago?
No.
MacGyver the complete series.
I think even
Frasier the complete series.
Even if I scroll all the way down, I don't think I'm gonna find like a nudity or like. Here's some drunk chicks with their Everything Ernest 3-movie collection on DVD. Boom. There's gold this week, gentlemen.
Give that to Brad.
Not.
The Dragons of Camelot. I used to love anything dragons that ever ended up on the Sci-Fi Channel. I always wanted to watch. Which that's exactly what that looks like. Yep. That's all, folks.
Yep, that's
Sorry.
it.
So you want to know what happened since the last time I was here?
Yes, desperately.
I bought my first Blu-ray.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What'd you buy?
Which it was either Dawn or Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
It was actually cheaper to buy the Blu-ray DVD digital combo than it was to buy the DVD.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like $4. I was like, all right.
Yeah, if you pay attention enough, if you check out sales, especially if you go to Amazon, they have like $3 Blu-rays all the time. That's how I get some. Like I got the Blues Brothers on Blu-ray for like $3.75.
Oh wow.
So
cool.
You never know.
See, and I mean, now all I have to do is get a better TV and a Blu-ray player and all the fancy stuff that goes with that. But I got the Blu-ray.
Slowly start converting your entire collection.
Now I've got 350 VHS tapes to convert to DVD, so I can convert all of those into Blu-ray.
Yeah, skip DVD altogether.
I don't know that would work.
Yep. Man, I want to get pictures of your VHS collection. I think it sounds.
Yeah,
I
you
have it
posted
on my
it,
Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook,
Oh,
yeah.
man, I'm gonna have to go find that.
Yep,
That's cool.
The wall is roughly the same width as what he's got here for Blu-rays and DVDs.
Right, but 1/3 as many videos as would fit in that wall in DVDs.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, very
really,
cool.
where else are you going to get like the original Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. You know,
VHS. I think
There
Disney
is
is
a
actually
DVD.
going to release that.
Yeah. There was a DVD release of them, and then there's hopefully going to be a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, there's a big rumor going around that Disney. When's D23?
I don't know.
You're
the Disney guy.
Either right before or right after San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Because Marvel's not going to be at Marvel Entertainment's not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
Because D23 I think is every 3 years or every 2 years or something like that. So they're just going to show it there. And there's a big rumor going around at D23. They're going to announce the original theatrical versions of Star Wars on Blu-ray.
Oh,
That'd be awesome. They should include the Leonard Maltin interview that was on the VHS tapes from the 90s.
I love Leonard Maltin.
Oh, man, those
He's
are
pretty
so
awesome.
Yeah, I just love his knowledge. I have these Walt Disney Treasures, which are in the tins, held together by Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And in them, he introduces a lot of the cartoons, and he's just really knowledgeable. And it's fun when anytime there's a cartoon that's questionable. On these sets, they have a lot of their cartoons, and then special features called From the Vault.
Right.
From the Vault is going to be stuff that is really politically incorrect. And before every episode, Leonard Maltin will always come on and say, "Hey, they didn't know what they're back then. It was okay to make Indian savage dogs." And
They didn't understand that black people were people too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, I even have Looney Tunes Golden Collection, and they don't mention that at all before those cartoons happen on it. They just say this is for an adult collector. But in the Disney one, well, obviously Leonard Maltin's a Disney employee, but you know, he comes out and he says what it is and why they did it, and it's really interesting, and that's why I really like him.
Yeah.
I think he's like your uncle who likes movies. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
He just has that voice, and you say, "Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Maltin."
Mm-hmm. I love his podcast. Do you guys listen to that at all?
No.
Maltin on Movies.
Ooh.
I should listen
You
to that
should.
one.
Yeah?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked him because he never seemed like overly pretentious.
Right.
He's kind of like, who's the guy who does Inside the Actor Studio? James
Lipton.
Yeah, Lipton. Both of them, like they'll both like make references every now and then in the show where you're like, wait, did you just talk about Pootie Tang? Like you can't, you're not allowed to make jokes about Pootie Tang. You're a professional critic.
James Lipton kills me because the Tom Cruise and the Robert Downey Jr. Inside the Actor Studios are so good.
They're so good.
And the Tom Cruise one is funny because, you know, my first exposure to James Lipton was actually Saturday Night Live and Will Ferrell. And I was like, man, it's funny, but he's exactly like that. Well, there's this one part where he's talking to Tom Cruise, and Mr. Cruise's dad left him.
You can just call him Tom.
Oh, yeah. Tom's dad left him when he was young, and he lost contact with him, stopped talking to him for 15 years, and then he found out he was dying. So then Mr. Cruise went and, like, saw his dad, and so, James Lipton's asking these great questions, and you can see Tom Cruise is thinking about it and, giving really thoughtful answers. And then he says, "Now let's talk Days of Thunder." Whoa, that's like a total 360.
It just came out of nowhere.
I mean, 180, because 360 just be
Would
right
put
back
you
to where you
right
started.
back where you-
That's a Last Action Hero
I
joke.
was going to say. You moron.
I think he does a few 360s though in Days of Thunder.
He probably does. Go on, what do you next, James?
News?
Cool.
It's real news.
What you got
The next Wolverine's going to be the last Wolverine.
for Hugh Jackman? Hopefully they do Old
Yeah.
Man Logan. That'd be sweet.
Would you want to see somebody else do? No, shit, yeah. If they go cast, like, who would you cast as Old Man Logan?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Well, he's
just
not
saying that's-
quite old enough yet.
Yeah, but you can age
But it
him.
wouldn't
You could
take
wait a little
much.
while, yeah.
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 Well, no, because I think they
even
start shooting that almost soon.
Yeah.
'Cause I think they're doing, as soon as he's done with Apocalypse, I think he's doing the next Wolverine.
Oh no, they're shooting it now. That's where it came from. Was he's like on set doing like pre-production kind of stuff.
Oh, he's done with Apocalypse and he's already doing?
Yeah, yeah. I
Wolverine?
think they're
Wow.
working on it now, and so he had. I think all it is like some kind of costume fitting or something because he took a photo of his fists and one of them has the claws on it, and he said one last time, and that's where this whole thing started. And then the director of Wolverine 2 like verified like Wolverine 2 is going to be the last time Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine.
You know, Hugh Jackman is one of my most favorite celebrities I to follow on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
Because he always puts goofy pictures of himself up, and
neat.
because right now he's shooting he shot a ski jumping guy movie like Eddie the Eagle, I think's the name of it.
Huh.
And he's always like, so he put a video up of him saying, "I'm out for my morning jog," and it's like 10 seconds of him running across this snowbank and into a cabin that has a bunch of breakfast, and he turns like his cell phone to him and says, "For brunch," and then that's the whole video. He's just one of those guys who seems really cool.
Yeah, right.
You know, and someone who's embraced being, you know, Wolverine. Before him, a lot of people didn't want that to be, you know, who they're defined by, but you know, now he's said, "Man, I'm Wolverine. It's awesome." And he carries the franchise.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Well.
Like without him,
him,
I don't know how you do it.
I know. Remember, it's supposed to be Dougray Scott, so
Scott Speedman. Go get Scott Speedman.
please don't.
What's Scott Speedman doing? Huh?
I don't know. He died in Underworld 3, and I don't care about him.
Did he?
Or the second one. Did he die in the second? Which one did he die in?
I don't think he died.
No, he died in the fourth one.
No, because she's pregnant at the end of the second one.
Well, no, in the fourth
Is he
one he
in the
died
fourth
because
one?
no, they used like some weird CGI
Oh, that's right.
thing, and he got blown up.
Oh gosh, that was horrible. Like they couldn't even get real Scott Speedman back. They spent probably more money than Scott Speedman would cost on the CGI.
I mean, and what was Scott Speedman doing?
I don't know.
Like he can't shoot for 3 days? Because I mean, actually, I like the rest of the Underworld 4 movie because it has some really sweet like fights in it.
Yeah, that movie's weird.
You know, could have used some Scott Speedman.
It's better than 3. Probably better than 2, honestly.
I'll have to watch him again.
Yeah.
2 was not the best one.
How did we get on the Scott Speedman?
I don't know. You're the one who brought him up.
I don't know. He was just a good joke for who I don't want to play Wolverine next. I mean, it makes it hard for them to like. He's a good piece of momentum to keep that whole franchise moving. I think it's going to make it a little bit hard for them to continue to make Wolverine or like X-Men movies without having that character.
Oh yeah.
Or you recast him, but I don't want that
you have
either.
to recast him, but I mean that's tough shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Who else is going to play him? I mean, we've gotten used to him in, God, what, 7 movies? 8 movies now?
Yeah.
So another movie that they're making a sequel to that, you know, without its main actor you couldn't fill those shoes. Machete Kills again in space.
Yeah.
Is going to film sometime later this year. Is anybody excited?
No.
I think it's interesting that it's in space, but like I think I said for Machete Kills again, or whatever it was, Machete Kills. What was it called?
I think it was called Machete Kills again.
Or Machete Kills, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You could tell like Danny Trejo was too tired or something throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you're going to make a movie like that, you have to go all in. You can't,
Right.
like the movie tonight. If you're going to make a movie, you
Right.
you can't put your toe in the water. And that's why we always talk about Hansel and Gretel. The reason Hansel and Gretel works is because they embrace what it is, a stupid fucking movie.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and that's where Machete Kills misses the point. Mel Gibson is great in it.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, he's only in it for 10 minutes, so the rest of the time you're going, oh, this is painful.
It feels like they think that the premise of, hey, we're going to take it into space this time is enough to justify the film, which is not true. Like you've got to have enough good gags and like crazy shit in there to actually make the thing entertaining for an hour and a half. And just saying this time it's in space and his machete is going to be a laser machete, like those jokes will not last very long.
Right.
Like 20 minutes in, I'm going to be staring at the screen with my eyes bleeding, just like, oh my gosh, like please. Because that was one of the more excruciating experiences that we've had,
a bad one.
like during the making of this show, was seeing that movie. I'm not kidding.
Dude, that's a great poster for Poltergeist to change the subject.
That's a really good, man.
It's of a creepy clown.
That new trailer for Poltergeist is really cool.
Oh, my
And
God, it's so awesome.
I don't know why I'm getting so excited for horror movies. I don't know what's happening to me.
I don't know either, because you're not supposed to like them.
I'm not supposed to. Yeah.
I also want to point out that
My mom
Randy
told
is
me-
drinking a 2-liter thing of RC Cola that I have never seen.
It's pretty dope.
It's the most RC Cola I've seen since I was in Tennessee.
It's really cool.
Oh, really?
Where did you get that RC Cola?
Walmart, 88 cents a 2-liter.
Oh man.
I got like 9 at home right now.
Easter's coming, man. I got so Dan went and bought a glass bottle and then like one of those giant cans of Mountain Dew and put it in the fridge and was like, "These are for you. Saturday night at midnight, we're gonna pop this thing open. You're gonna have some Mountain Dew." I was like, "Oh,
Can you already taste it?
oh, I'm getting excited. I was really tired on my way over here because we're doing this so late, and I was like, oh man, I would just so go for some caffeine right now. And every Starbucks closes at 9:00 at night. Like you can't get caffeine unless you stop at a grocery, like a convenience store and get a soda.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll make it home okay.
Or you just ignore Lent.
No, that's not an option.
It is. We all have choices.
Maybe not
sir.
the preferred option, but it's an option.
Things we may continue to avoid, or ignore, I should say. Deadpool is going to be R. Hey, Randy, do you care about Deadpool?
No.
Okay. I'm going to keep asking that question until somebody says something other than no.
It seems like it'd be fun.
It might be. Yeah, I don't know.
If they have the right amount of tongue in cheek, I think it could be.
Yeah. I mean, the fact
They
that
got
it's
the right
R,
actor.
the fact that it's R
yeah,
does
well,
mean there's a better
Ryan
chance.
Reynolds is awesome at what he does, but
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm certainly more excited about that than Play-Doh the movie. They're making a movie about Play-Doh. It's got Paul Feig tied to it, which that part's actually kind of interesting.
Like Play-Doh?
Yeah, like Play-Doh.
Like the kids Play-Doh?
Yeah, like Play-Doh.
Not Play-Doh like,
No, not an interesting movie about like Plato and like Socrates.
but Play-Doh.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Play-Doh.
Like
Mr. Bill Play-Doh.
Yeah, like P-L-A-Y.
years ago.
I would see a Mr. Bill movie.
D-O-H.
See, why not just do that?
Yeah. I laughed at the idea of a Lego movie, so I'm going to try not to laugh at the idea of a Play-Doh movie, but I feel like this has even fewer legs to stand on. But we'll see. Maybe it's going to be awesome. But there's some actually awesome news this week. That was all just the garbagey fodder stuff that nobody cares about. There's some TV shows coming back, guys. Maybe. The big one and the one that seems the most plausible to me is The Muppet Show.
Yeah.
ABC's looking at
I heard they shot it already, and they're looking to see if they're going to do an order.
I think they're good. I don't know if they've shot it yet. I think they're about to shoot it, but one way or the other. Like I think they are producing a single episode to test it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested in that.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
It's a good idea.
If they were able to do like an actual variety show, get some celebrities on there, I would tune in for that for sure. That would be really cool. The David Cross and Bob Odenkirk and a whole bunch of other people from Mr. Show are also teaming up to make another sketch show.
It's like Bob and David show or something. I forget what it's called. It's really goofy, but that Mr. Show is the goofiest sketch show you'll ever see, and it's bizarre, but it's really funny.
Yeah,
I can't describe it. It's too weird.
This is one of those where it's too bad that Brad's not here, but. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're basically trying to remake Mr. Show again.
And I'm all for that.
And then the very last thing is that there's a rumor going around that CBS might make another Star Trek show.
Really?
Yeah, it's been floated for a few years now. There's a lot of politics involved in it because the feature rights are split up from the television rights right now, so you can't tie the two together at all. But it would be really cool if they found a way to do that somehow. I mean, that's always where Star Trek has actually been its best, as far as I'm concerned. Because, it should be a show like an X-Files where every episode is just some crazy cool sci-fi idea where we're following some characters that we love. I think it's popular enough now, and especially with how many other genre shows there are and how popular Supernatural and these other shows are, I think you could pull this off. But you got to do it really carefully. And I'm excited by the idea, but Randy, are you a big Star Trek guy?
Not a big one. Like,
Yeah.
I love the movies, and I love Shatner's, 70-something, 72,
Yeah.
76, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Like, I love those.
Right.
Wasn't really into any of the offshoots.
Oh, okay.
And I tried. I really did. And I know you guys, love the hell out of them.
You
but-
guys.
Not Ryan.
Brad and James.
Well,
I like the movies.
Yeah.
I'm not even a fan of the shows. I like the movies.
I like but again, the William Shatner ones, they were just cheesy, so it was funny to watch.
Yeah.
But the movies I loved. I have, again, on VHS, I have the whole set, which is awesome because if you put all of them together, the sides of the boxes make one big picture. It's awesome. For $1 a piece, you can't go wrong.
That's cool.
Or you can get like a really sweet set like I have up there, and it comes with a bunch of different special features. Like you can listen to film historians do commentaries on them, and and the picture's really good.
Yeah.
But can you take it out of the VCR and every once in a while have to tighten it by hand to get the play right?
I can't.
Huh?
You do have that. You do have that over me.
There you go. Wait, that was the bad part. Sorry.
I kind of hope that VHS tapes go the way of records, where the hipsters are going to take it back again and be like, no, I only watch film the way it was meant to be seen on magnetic tape.
I'll tell you, though, there's nothing better than putting one in and being able to fast forward through all that FBI piracy crap that you can't do on DVDs where it's like, oh, this action doesn't occur right now. You're like, fine. VCR, you're like, bzzz, play. There you go. Done.
Every time I put in a Disney Blu-ray, every time I'm always pleasantly surprised. Because their Blu-rays are so good. I watched Emperor's New Groove this week, and when I put it in, I was like, oh shit, yeah, like, because it pops up that little bar. It's not just like, hey, do you want to skip all these trailers and garbage? No,
right.
It's like, do you want to just start the movie? Do you want to go to the
that's
menu?
called Disney Fast Play.
Oh,
Dude,
it's
awesome.
so
That's
good.
why Disney makes the best Blu-rays, because that feature is really for children, because how many kids want to sit through the 13 minutes of trailers, you know?
Totally.
So you just
Right,
hit
'cause
Disney
they don't
Fast
know.
Play
They
and it
don't
goes
care.
right to the movie.
Yeah.
And that's because, and if you're a big Disney fan, they put great special features on them.
Hey, it also came with Kronk's New Groove.
I know, I got to get that Blu-ray.
I've never seen it. but-
Every time I'm at Tradesmart and it's only $15, I'm like, I should really get that.
so good. Oh, it's
I
so
really
good.
should get that.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope they try. I don't have a lot of faith that they'll do a great job, because I'll be honest that I've watched a lot of genre television over the last 5 or 6 years,
Right.
and I think it's like 80% garbage. Like even some of the stuff that I think is interesting, it just falls so short. Like Powers is a good example where I watch it and I'm like, this should be so much better, and yet the production value is not there. Shows like that always disappoint me. Genre stuff like that is not easy to get right the first time. So, but fingers crossed. I hope they try. Ryan, what have you been watching?
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Oh, man. I watched a few things this week. The first thing I watched is they had, on Sunday, they had a documentary on HBO called Going Deep, which is, it explores Scientology.
Okay.
And it's about a guy who wrote a book about
I heard about this.
Scientology, and how he got all his information is a lot of people like defected from Scientology, because of what they did, and it's a really it's a really fascinating documentary. It definitely got like a lot of play. I was reading that it's like HBO's highest rated documentary ever.
Wow!
And I was watching it, and it's just I don't know. Like it's fascinating. The power this church, you can't see on the podcast, church has.
Right.
A very, very loosely church.
Yeah.
Because they even try to, because they have Peter Haggis on there, who is a director. And he was a Scientologist for 35 years. And he is interesting because he started off, he's saying, I was in Canada and I didn't have any direction, and I came to the United States. I wanted to make movies, I had nowhere to go, and all of a sudden I met this guy, and this is in the early stages of Scientology.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, come with us and hold these two
metal whatever
tin cans, and tell us your life story, and we'll tell you what you were in a past life and all this weird stuff, and it's just fascinating watching it because they try to do this. They spend about 30-40 minutes. It's a 2-hour-long documentary with John Travolta and Tom Cruise, obviously. And you watch these people talk, and these people that have defected from it, and you don't understand why people believe it. And, you're watching, like, why do people believe this? Why do people believe this? And then they start delving into what they call an auditor. And the auditor is a guy like, we're sitting here on a computer. I'm like, well, you had a fight with your wife. Tell us about it. And what they do is they keep records of everything you've said. And so a lot of them, like the guy who runs it now, I forget his name, Massa Grove, something like that. He's a little weasel guy. All his like deputy and his right hand people like broke free from the church but then they would have people under surveillance, and what they would do is they would take this information about you and they would put it on the internet, and that's how like tabloids get some of their stuff. Is because they would sell it to the tabloids and say, hey, so and so is this and so is that, and so they use it, and so people are afraid to leave because they hold all this stuff over you. And
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Why put yourself in that position? But
and Paul Haggis, why he left is one or two of his daughters came out as gay, and they told him because it's not they don't believe in people being gay.
Sure.
That they said you have to disconnect from them. And when you disconnect from somebody in the Scientology world, is you cut them out completely.
Oh,
like you're not
wow.
allowed to see them, you're not allowed to talk to them, and they're done. And he's like, wait a minute, this is fucking bullshit. And
It took that.
and then you have to pay to get to these different levels, to get to OT, which I don't even remember what it's called, because it was so much like bullshit. You know, and not that the documentary is boring, but you hear the stuff about the religion. Like, this is such bullshit. You kind of lose focus in it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
Really, I don't, there's like 7 levels, and it was really fascinating because when they got to Tom Cruise, they're talking, and the interesting thing about the Tom Cruise part is they don't have any footage of him after like 2005, 2006. You know, right at the time when people start saying, oh, he's jumping on the couch and blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Because what they do is they like stroke your ego and say, oh, this is that. And they gave him like this huge honor of being like the ambassador of Scientology around the world. And so he started doing it. And then they said they set him up with a girlfriend. And obviously Tom Cruise didn't get interviewed for this because he's not going to. And
of course not.
And then the only thing they had is like, they had this little thing that says Tom Cruise's lawyers deny this. And of course they would, but you know, that's my problem too with the documentary. It's really only portraying one side.
Right.
Where,
Right.
I mean, it's really fascinating, but they would talk about how they would beat people and they would put people underneath air conditioner, one of his right-hand guys who like broke free from the church, and they'd pour cold water on him and turn the air conditioner up all the way. And and told him you can't leave. It's really bizarre. So it's really a cult.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And it's interesting. So if you have HBO Go or something, I think you can watch it on there now. It's a really interesting documentary, but again, I kind of zoned out because I'm like, I don't know how people would believe this shit.
At a certain point, it's just like so much stuff you don't understand, and you're like,
Yeah.
I can't even follow.
Because
Like,
when they're
how
talking
does
about-
anybody believe it?
Because
If
we're
I
talking
can't
about when you
follow
get to a level, you have to meet Xanu, who's this like
Xanu,
big, powerful being from the people that were dropped into volcanoes,
Right.
From
my
DC
God.
eights,
From the DC-8s, yeah.
that came from. You're just going what? And it's interesting because Paul Haggis, he said,
once you lose all your body thetans.
because he got to the highest level,
Right.
You know
And-
a lot about this, James.
I do.
and Paul Haggis he said when you reach this level and they give it to you and you read this and you're all saying like, this is fucking bullshit.
Right.
And then it's kind of interesting because he says you can't believe how stupid you are and
Right.
you can't believe this and yeah, I mean they told him to disconnect from his daughters and stuff because they're gay. Fuck you. I'd tell him to
Yeah, well,
fuck you
yeah.
too. So it's a really interesting show. I also watched a few episodes of Masters of Sex. I actually I got it for my wife for anniversary because my wife loves sex and as an educator as well,
Right.
and she loves science and stuff, and so I was like, this show sounds like something my wife would really like.
I think I said that back when I saw it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. So I got it for her, and we watched the first, I think, 3 episodes, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's what it is, and I had fun watching it. And Lizzie Kaplan's naked. I'll take that any day of the week.
I'll be interested to see how I fell off somewhere near the end of that first season, but not ever because it was bad, just because it was one of those things where it just
get
didn't
too
stick
much
to me.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you get too much stuff too to watch,
Yeah.
you kind of. But I enjoyed it. I think the performances are really good. It's shot really well.
Yeah.
It has it's a well done show. So I mean, I'll keep on watching it. I also got this horror movie called Late Phases. Which is,
Late Phases.
yeah, it's weird.
I like
so
that title.
the movie's actually called Late Phases, and then the Blu-ray release of it added on Night of the Lone Wolf.
What?
And I was like, that's a stupid title. And
Okay.
it's like The Edge of Tomorrow, where they added
Right.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
Because when you watch the Blu-ray, and the only reason I got it was like $6, and I mean it's pretty new, but on Blu-ray.com it says it has really sweet practical effects. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's $6.
Right.
And so I got it, and even when you watch the credits, it just says Late Phases. So I mean, it doesn't even have the whole title in it.
Huh.
So obviously they shot it, but in it deals with a blind war vet who moves into a retirement community, and the first night he's there, a werewolf attacks and kills his neighbor, and kills his seeing eye dog, and so he gets like pissed, and
You killed my
This is
dog.
the John Wick of retirement homes.
but he can't see, so he doesn't know that it's a werewolf until he starts putting pieces together about this monster that only shows up once a month, and blah 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 blah. So the rest of the time is him as a blind person getting his house ready to, attack the werewolves. So Night of the Lone Wolf is the blind guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense.
That's a better title.
So the movie's actually pretty good for a little Canadian horror film that, I didn't even hear of.
Is it is it recent?
Yeah, I mean, I think it came out 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
On Blu-ray. I don't know if it was released in theaters or not.
But it's in the last 5 years that it was made.
Yeah. So, I mean,
okay.
it was made last year. But yeah, the werewolf transformation is completely practical, and the dude's ripping his skin off and stuff. And
Oh, nice.
it's pretty sweet. The werewolves look a little different. I mean, it's fine. But what is really cool about it is, what they made it different is you find out who the werewolf guy is, I don't know, about halfway through when he's getting ready. And then when the full moon comes, he goes around the senior citizens community and starts biting people. So he has an army of werewolves to attack this guy.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun. And Tom Noonan plays a priest in it. So, there's always that. So yeah, I mean, I'd recommend if you like werewolf movies. It's actually a lot better than I thought it would be.
Cool.
So, and it's really violent and
well, who
gory.
doesn't like
and
that?
yeah, it's fun. I also got around to watching Lethal Weapon 4, which is actually a pretty cool movie.
I love Lethal Weapon 4, yeah.
It's still funny. I still think, they're fun characters. I would watch a Lethal Weapon 5 if I could see Riggs go at it again.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I mean, there's funny bits in it with Chris Rock and Joe Pesci when they're talking about
Butters.
I genuinely love the Froggy speech.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It's so dumb, and that character's so stupid sometimes, but it's a really kind of heartwarming little story.
Okay,
and,
okay,
what he's
okay,
really
okay.
saying. Yeah, oh man.
But I mean, what I love about Lethal Weapons too is the end is always raining hard.
Yeah.
Always.
And there's a graveyard.
Yeah, and this one, they're fighting on a dock, and he's Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
I mean Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce Lee. Yeah,
yeah. Mel Gibson is fighting with Jet Li, and
Yeah.
Right, which is awesome.
and I mean, there's even that scene where they're running through Chinatown, which is awesome.
that was pretty
And-
badass.
Oh yeah.
So I had a lot of fun watching the movie.
No, it was great.
Yeah, the only thing about that movie that I feel doesn't hold up as well, or is just kind of annoying, is how many times Chris Rock makes some weird race joke, or race, he's really pissed off.
Well, that was the time when that's what he was.
No, I know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing that
That's
just
why I
doesn't.
wasn't old,
Yeah, I watch it now and I'm like, oh god, why are you so annoying? I get it, I get it. Racism is bad. I know. It's literally the story of this movie is racism is bad. Stop saying it. Yeah.
But it's fun, and yeah. So, I mean, I don't know why they had a shark on their boat, but it's still cool.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's still cool.
Because it starts that way.
Yeah.
Where they just have a shark on the deck.
Yeah.
We accidentally caught this. Oh, what a great movie. Man.
And the last thing I watched was The Dark Knight Returns, the deluxe cartoon movie.
Yeah.
And it's my problem I have with The Dark Knight Returns, the comic, is Frank Miller, because it's so blatant to me when Frank Miller's writing. I said this in the Sin City: A Dame to Kill For podcast. I know when it's his lines of dialogue, and I don't think he's a great writer, and I don't think his art is that good, and I know I'm in the minority. I mean, the story is interesting. I think it's interesting that Batman retires, and he has to come back. And I love the idea that the Joker is in comatose until he finds out Batman's back, and then he, turns into the Joker again.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed the noir part from the comics where there's narration constantly. But again, I have a problem when artists and stuff, jab America, but the only reason they can say stuff like that is because they're in America. I always have problems with that. I always have problems seeing both sides of it because to me, I'm not saying America doesn't have, issues, but when you sit there and make a commentary about America in a comic book, the irony of it is the only reason you can say stuff like that is because you're in America.
Right.
So, and I always say, go live in a different country if where they censor you and things like that. But anyways, back to the real story. The animation's great in it. I think it's really well produced.
How'd you like Michael Emerson's
I
Joker?
wasn't a big fan. Because here's the thing is I don't like, they made that Joker really effeminate and kind of.
Yeah, he kind of reads that way in the book too.
Yeah, he does. And, They even mention it in the documentary about Frank Miller, where he says that the Joker loves Batman, and so he has this. He says "my darling," and I don't think it's actually Michael Emerson's fault. I think it's just the way the part's written.
Yeah,
Sure.
And I like the Harvey Dent story a lot. I didn't like the mutant story again.
I've never liked the mutant.
Even
story.
when I read the book, I always really skim through that part really fast.
Yeah. I basically want to jump to the second half.
Yeah, because, there's some terrifying parts. When the Joker's running through the Tunnel of Love and just mowing people down, and I think is really indicative of his character. And, him, breaking his own neck is really great. And, that part's really, really powerful. But then, all these people are trying to shoot Batman. They can't shoot him. That was driving me crazy throughout the whole movie. It's like they all have machine guns, and they're all trying to shoot Batman, but he's too fast, and he dodges them. But he's supposed to be old and slow.
Right.
Which, that also happens in the Bruce Timm show, but it's a little bit different because, like you said, he's supposed to be old here.
But the thing is,
something about the way it's written.
Yeah,
it's not like that Batman series is a kids fun comic booky Batman series, and this one is supposed to be here's your gritty, realistic. Well,
that's the thing.
When your Batman's gonna die of a heart attack, he shouldn't magically have villains that can't shoot straight.
Well, that's the thing is, that's where the inconsistencies really got to me. I actually just thought of it in that scene because the Joker's running through and just shooting people. No issues.
Right.
But you have 10, 15 cops who have submachine guns and can't shoot Batman who's right in front of him, where he's just diving away. So I had problems with that. I do like the Superman fight in it.
Yep.
But then too, that's the thing is the thing that always drives me with Frank Miller is, so the Joker is the bad guy and he's running through and shooting, 10, 15 people in the Tunnel of Love, but Superman is killing thousands of people in the water. He's, busting up ships and killing all these people.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Superman fan, but it's just it's not who he is. And it's just my thing with freaking Frank Miller is I can never get past it. And the movie's well done and there's some really entertaining parts in it. But I think people always think it's blasphemous that, I'm not the biggest fan of The Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
And when you listen to someone like Kevin Smith who talks about it like it's the second coming, you're like, not really. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's a thing that I appreciate from a historical standpoint, because of what it meant, what 1986 meant for comics, more than I love the book itself.
And it could be too that I'm just a huge Marvel guy. That could be a problem too because I'm not a big fan of The Watchmen either. I think The Watchmen's better. But, reading the comic, I'm like, oh man, 9 more panels of nothing but dialogue.
Yeah.
And then too, I can't separate
how much smart dialogue.
How much of a douche Alan Moore is. And then they have a documentary about Frank Miller on the deluxe edition only. And all it talks about how brilliant he is and how great he is. And then I see it as art. I'm like, he's not that good.
No. Yeah.
I don't know. He just hit the right nerve, I think. He just came at the right time. And he hit the right nerve. I'm sure I'm going to get hate mail about it, but I just can't get into it. Peter Weller I bought him as an old Batman, but I still miss Kevin Conroy. I miss the Mark Hamill Joker.
Yeah,
because Mark Hamill was a little more cartoony, but there's something sinister behind him. Where the Joker in The Dark Knight Returns, he's evil, but there's not. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
No, it absolutely does. I think that the argument's going to be that without The Dark Knight Returns, you would never get the Batman animated series. Like that was such a watershed moment, which I would agree with, again, historically. But the Batman I like is the Batman animated series, or the modern comic book Batman who's not... Yeah, it's the Frank Miller thing.
So yeah, I can't get past it. I really can't.
Yeah.
When he did Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder comic, I hated it. And I always put it in my hold slot and I read it until they got to issue A and they didn't finish it, obviously, because it's Jim Lee and Frank Miller.
Right.
But, and it's funny, I was going through my comics and I still had a whole stack of them. I had the variants and the recalled edition.
Lord.
And I went to my store and was like, Andrew, will you buy these from me? I don't want them anymore. He says, oh man, you have the recall and you have this variant. He's like, yeah, man, I'll give you like $80 for them. I'm like, cool.
Sold.
Let me get 3 Spider-Mans I don't have. But yeah, I just could never connect with it. And the movie's really well done. I'm not saying it's not well done. I just think it's a Frank Miller thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the noir narration would have helped. I mean, it didn't help Blade Runner, so I don't know if it could help.
Well, it wasn't written into Blade Runner.
Yeah, but I still actually like the theatrical version of Blade Runner, but whatever.
You heretic.
I don't think there's a version of Blade Runner I don't like.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just could never get into it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
there's a great documentary about Bob Kane on it, and there's a great one about the Joker on it.
I've watched them both once. Like, I own them both. I haven't watched them a second
It is
time.
interesting. I think it is a better experience if you can watch them seamlessly.
Yeah, probably.
So
did you get like that combined set?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so I got it's one of those ones at Tradesmart that I needed to get another used one so I could get one for $1.
Right.
And I was like, whatever, I'll just get Batman.
Yeah.
And I usually like DC Universe Batman animated films.
I mean, it's really well made.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to
even the recent Suicide Squad,
Yeah,
I
that
think
one.
it's not even as good as the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
And or the Return of the Joker, Batman Beyond, or Mask of the Phantasm, or any of the other Batman animated movies.
All of those are great.
I know.
All of those are awesome things, man.
So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
I wished I liked animated movies.
It's all right. I mean,
Randy, what have you watched recently?
Oh God,
you should get Spectacular Spider-Man if you want to watch animated stuff, because that does characters right.
I agree.
Except for Kraven the Hunter.
Oh God. So I had a whole bunch. So a buddy of mine decided that he was going to pack up and move his family to not Pittsburgh, maybe something up in that way. And so he had this huge garage sale. And in that huge garage sale were several stacks of DVDs. So I went and bought like 30 DVDs for like $4 from him.
Wow.
So a lot of these are going to be really cheesy, like weird stuff.
Sure.
But it's going to be because I paid like 7 cents for it. So why not?
Right, absolutely.
So the first thing I watched was all of the Jaws movies.
Had you not seen them before?
I had seen them before.
Okay.
But this was the first time I had a chance to own them, and most of them I hadn't seen since I had originally seen them years and years ago.
Right.
And some of the like I almost wanted to post it on Facebook. Like some of the things that I learned from Jaws was like sticks can cause explosions, which is phenomenal.
Wait, when is that in the first one?
The fourth one. That's how he
well, yeah, the
dies.
revenge. The revenge.
I saw you post that on Facebook about Jaws, and I've always looked for. Here's the thing: is I really want the DVD of Jaws: The Revenge because it's so horrible.
It is,
man,
but it's
a piece of shit.
The thing is Scream Factory just got Universal license again.
No,
so my fingers are crossed that they're going to release 2, 3, and 4 on Blu-ray.
that would be awesome.
My fingers are crossed.
that would.
I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but are the DVDs worth it?
Yeah.
Would you buy it for $3? You said.
Less than
it
that.
was like $3 a movie, effectively, because it came in a set, and one was by itself for like $4.
Yeah, because it's the great one.
Yeah. But yeah, like so at the end, and what was funny is I didn't remember this when I watched it like years ago. So at the end, when the mother drives the front end of the boat through the shark.
Piece of shit film.
It's just the giant piece of wood at the front of the boat. She stabs it, and then it just explodes. You're like, but there was no explosives, no gas, no nothing.
Sharks are actually made of TNT.
Clearly, there's something there.
Yeah.
But she just rams him, and you see it pierce his flesh, and boom! And you're like, all right, so
the least thing I believe least about that is a heart attack killed Chief Brody.
But
Hey,
I don't think Jaws 2 is that bad.
No, Jaws 2 I think is good.
I think the first two, the first one is always going to be the best, I think, because of course.
Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever made.
I watched a 15-minute teardown of just the beach scene today. It was awesome. The guy just went through it shot by shot and was talking about. There was even one moment where he was like, it's perfect that the dog moved into this part of the frame at this time. I was like, it's a dog. It's not an actor. It didn't do that on purpose. But it was still really cool. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, Jaws 2 I don't think is bad. 3 is where it gets weird.
3 was really bad, and the fact that it was, you know, this giant 3D thing, which of course made it horrendous to watch on a standard television, not in 3D.
I always loved the poster for that one, though.
Yeah,
the poster is the shark coming out of water and those people on the skis are behind it. It looks great.
Yeah,
though, because like you, I mean, every point where there's a 3D moment, you can clearly tell the difference because it's like the whole background scene is one dull color. And then the whole front end is just bright and shiny, and you see an arm that's just floating in the water, and you're like, okay, I get it. That was supposed to be 3D.
Or the shark doesn't swim. It literally just floats across the screen.
Right. It's just, and you're like, what?
Scream Factory, put that out on 3D.
Yeah.
But I would kill. I keep on, I go to the Alamo, I was like, you guys should do Jaws 3D and, put it in 3D.
That would be really cool.
To actually be able to see that, I would totally pay money for that. I mean, it's like I missed The Crow when it came out years and years ago in the theater, but I bought it and I loved the movie. Mm-hmm. And there was a thing that Denver West was doing years and years ago where they had like 10 movies they were going to put out on the big screen, and then the idea was that you paid for the tickets in advance, and then they gave you like a gift card, a $10 gift card to Dave and Buster's, every one you went to, or some sort of a big thing they did with the two of them together. And I watched it again for the first time on the big screen, and it was a great experience. So this would be, I would totally watch that in 3D just to go, this is still cheesy as fuck, but it looks like it's right in front of my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that they would have to actually get like,
but it's different kind of 3D though, because it's stereoscope. So
right, and I mean, it's only like 4 or 5 scenes that are like really the 3D part.
You know what movie brought that 3D back though, right? Friday the 13th 3D. Because the guy who worked on that, after he got how well it did there, the people at Universal hired him to do Jaws.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
So, but yeah, like I would totally do that. But yeah, like, and what got me the most is like, so between 3 and 4, it was supposed to be the same brothers, right?
Right.
But their ages didn't change. The characters, obviously the actors that played them did, but they were still roughly the same age, like a decade later. You're like, oh, well, this guy's 27, like Quaid was 27 in that one, and this is supposed to take place 10 years. What the hell?
Is there any special features on the DVDs?
I don't believe the last 2 did, but the first and the second one did.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they were.
I'd love to get like a director's commentary on Jaws: The Revenge.
I think the first one had like a lot of different commentaries by different. Yeah,
the first one, the Blu-ray.
But again,
for
that one was the one that was separate from the other ones, which was a real bummer. But I also picked up Tales from the Crypt season 6.
Sweet,
which was the only one I was missing.
I own them all.
I had 1 through 7 minus 6, and of course this one was the one at the garage sale. So I was like, I'll buy that one.
Perfect.
Sure. And again, I think I paid like 25 cents for the entire season.
Wow.
So why not? And it's just, God, it's so weird to see, because of course I started watching 6 again, and I backtracked to some of the other ones. So like watching Christopher Reeves in one of the early seasons as and Meatloaf, and
well, that's the thing with those shows is every episode was really great talent.
Oh yeah,
behind and in front of the camera, different directors. I mean, Schwarzenegger did an episode.
Right, it's crazy. And
as a director, so it's
right.
My favorite one of that scared me as a kid. I mean, it doesn't scare me now, but is a salesman who goes to the house. And Tim Curry plays all like the inbred people.
Yeah,
I think it's the Death of Some Salesman. I think's the name of it. It's Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, because he's the one that ends up having to sleep with.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I remember watching those when I was a kid. It was so great, but I mean, I don't think I'd seen half the episodes that was in number 6, which was awesome. So it was like watching them for the first time again. So yeah, I mean, those were.
I love Tales from the Crypt. I love the intro. I love the character of the Crypt Keeper.
God, right?
And it's just because they're really faithful to the comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And, I mean, they're cheesy and they're B, but Some of them are really effective. I think in the first one, there's a killer Santa Claus in the first season. It's a really great episode.
Yeah.
But there's some that are really, really strong. Some of them are goofy, but
well, yeah. I mean,
I think I can
are...
watch them all though. I don't think there's one where I'm like, this is stupid.
No, definitely not. I mean, I bought them because I know one day I'll put them in and I'll watch every one of them again, and I'll be just as happy to watch them then as I did this last time. So yeah. And with that, I put Creepshow in almost right after, which is effectively the movie version of the same thing.
I love the
same idea. What else? I watched a Bruce Lee movie, Game of Death. That's the one with
shit. Yeah, Kareem Abdul
yeah, it's the basketball player.
It is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, it is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, that's the movie where the Kill Bill suit comes from.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a cool movie.
Oh my god! And I can't remember. It was a podcast I was listening to where they couldn't stop talking about the opener with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris fighting.
Yes,
and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool! I haven't watched this in forever." And the way the podcast worded, I mean, I swear to God, it felt like it was a 20-minute thing. You watch the movie, it's like 4 minutes long, and you're like, oh, that's it, the thing's over. And you're like,
it's all the Chuck Norris you get.
What? What did I miss? What? I rewound it just to make sure.
Notice, didn't hit chapter back. Rewound.
Right, rewound.
Well, I pulled the tape out and rewound it with my hands.
Well, there's a few things that I still have the VHS and I bought the DVD of, and like the Bruce Lee movies or that, because I want to have the backup in case one or the other gets messed up.
Sure.
The Indiana Jones trilogy is also the same way.
So do you have a rewind machine?
It's called a VCR.
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
Like you have one of those,
you mean those little where you used to? No. I just hit the rewind button.
Blockbuster would charge you money for that.
What was it, 50 cents or something if you didn't rewind it? And you're like, really?
I luckily did not work there. We had when I worked there, we had a couple of VHSs, but not many. They're pretty much all gone. Yeah.
No. Right after the movie tonight, I went home and watched, I found the first, actually it was one of two, and it was either going to be Joyride or Into the Blue, but I wanted to watch Paul Walker again.
Into the Blue is underrated.
But I would choose Joyride because it's J.J. Abrams.
Well,
you could,
see, that was the thing, is like, I almost picked that one, but I wanted Into the Blue.
Duel.
It's close, yeah. But I ended up watching, I was halfway through it before I left to come here, so when I get home, I'm going to be able to finish it. But I still like Into the Blue because it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like there's certain part, like the chick gets her leg bit off, and I couldn't help but giggle a little bit because she's dumber than a box of rocks and deserved it.
They sold that movie as like, hey, who wants to come see Jessica Alba in a bikini? And I was like, this movie seems vapid and dumb. And then I finally
Paul
saw
Walker without a shirt on.
Sure, that too.
For the win.
Right, absolutely.
Lots of people in skimpy clothing.
And then I eventually saw it and was like, holy shit, like there's actually a plot here and it's kind of fun, and fucking Josh Brolin shows up and you're like, what is happening? This is a cool movie.
It's not bad. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's no Sahara or anything, but
No. Sahara's absolutely better than that is, but man.
But what else? So I watched Lost in Translation for the first time.
Cool.
And it's definitely not in my wheelhouse. It's not normally something I would watch. And the thing is like I watched it. I like Bill Murray. It was an interesting movie. I still didn't understand most of it, and at the end I felt like I needed to like see another 10 minutes of the movie to figure out what the fuck was going on. But like, for what I paid for it, and I did get like 2 hours worth of entertainment out of it because I watched it. I wasn't at any point looking away.
Right.
I didn't, find something else to do. I didn't decide to stop it. I was still like curious, and it was interesting because you get this idea of a friendship that's kind of nice out of pretty much nowhere. Just two people randomly meeting in an elevator, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
I've still never seen it. Like I hear so much about it, but I've still never actually watched it.
Well, that's why I decided to pick it up, because I had heard that it was supposed to be this really good movie, and I was like, all right, well, again, I'll give it a shot.
It's a good movie for critics.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No,
I like some of those movies.
Yeah, you're right. It's one of those movies you just watch and go, okay, it's good, but it's not like I'm gonna continue to watch it.
Right. And then I watched some TV. My roommate loves to download the latest episodes of whatever's on TV, which is Flash, iZombie, and S.H.I.E.L.D.
How's iZombie? I haven't heard anything about it.
So I've seen the first 3 episodes now.
Okay.
I am not impressed.
I know the few people I heard it's great.
See, so what really, the only thing that upsets me about the whole thing the most is that when the comic book came out, they threw it in my hold slot because I love zombies.
Right.
And I saw it and I'm like, I don't read this crap, and I gave it back. And now it's selling for like $50. So I feel like I could have gained like $49 if I'd have kept it.
Yeah.
That sucks a lot. But the show was okay. Like when I watch it, and it's interesting. I don't know how it compares to the comic because I've never read it.
Right.
So the premise behind it is a girl gets turned into a zombie, and I mean they literally jump into this in the first episode within the first 6 minutes. Like they try and tell her story via comic book pages artwork. So
Okay.
it's like, well, I was this, and then I was that, and then I went to this party, and then I became a zombie, and then the show starts, and you're like, what the hell did I just miss? Apparently everything.
Yeah.
So she gets turned into a zombie, and of course, she likes to eat brains. I can't remember where she worked. She ended up working downstairs in the morgue, where she can get all the free brains she wants, which is awesome. And so it turns out that when she eats brains, she starts seeing flashbacks of these people's lives. And so she effectively becomes an assistant to the detectives that are trying to solve all these cases by claiming she's a psychic. And so she goes and she said, oh, well, I just saw the killer beating the guy over the head. Well, how'd you figure that out? I'm a psychic. Yeah, well, she's not a psychic. When she eats the brain, she starts gaining parts of that person. Like she starts acting like them, their emotions or lack thereof, and all of that. And so it basically becomes a cop story. Only she's a zombie.
Only she's a zombie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very impressive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How does she get away with the fact that she has to eat zombies? Or has to eat brains?
Everybody's the other guy that she's working with, her boss downstairs in the morgue, found out almost instantly. Like he's just like,
Okay.
oh, and you're a zombie, right?
So
And
she
she's
doesn't.
Like, what?
Okay.
And he's so smart that he figured this all out, but he wants to try and cure her. So he actually helps her to find the brains and eat the brains, and he's going to find a way to cure her.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, okay. So again, a little side story, but just not impressive at all.
Huh.
Like I don't like it.
Interesting.
If I had to pay to watch it, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How do you feel? Are you caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D.?
what was the last one I just saw where they were doing the
I haven't watched
the
it since the
flashbacks
hiatus.
and the flash forwards?
Yeah, I haven't seen it since the hiatus. So the last thing I saw was when they're in the thing and the thing caves in and there's the aliens. And stuff glows.
No, I think I didn't. I don't think I caught. Those.
Okay.
Like there's something like 4 or 5 episodes I missed because
okay.
My roommate usually watches them at the same time on like Fridays and Saturday nights. And
Gotcha.
When he doesn't, then I miss whatever episode that is.
Sure.
But like I like it. It's okay. In my personal opinion, I think I would have dropped it a long time ago had it not been for Captain America.
Yep.
Because it was really dropping fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, this is getting boring. I'm going to find something else. And then I went and saw the movie, which was awesome.
Right.
And then I found out that the episode that blended in with the movie that made it all one big storyline, I was like, all right, okay, I'm back in again.
Yep.
But
totally.
And Flash, I'm loving the Flash. Like, I don't like DC at all. Like, can't stand it. I know little and nothing about the Flash. I love the TV show.
Really?
It is really awesome.
Huh.
Like there are twists and turns and secrets and everything. I mean, every time I watch it, I'm just like trying to figure out what in the hell's going on every time. And then they show a little bit of the puzzle and you're like, I got to see it next week. What the hell's going on?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I don't even know what half the characters are. I have to look at my roommate and go, okay, who is that guy? And he's like, he's basically the Reverse Flash. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I know that guy.
Are they all the Reverse Flash?
No. They finally, the last one I watched, they actually revealed how all of that happened. They revealed how Barry's mom actually died. Like, they showed the same scene again where it's always flashing the yellow and the red, but they slowed it down so you can actually watch the fight occurring in the room with his mother and himself. And so it's pretty badass.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what I watched.
Nice. Cool.
A lot of stuff.
Very good. I've just got a couple of quick things. I mentioned before I watched The Emperor's New Groove this week.
That's a great movie.
That's an awesome movie. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long, though.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was so dang short.
Yeah, most Disney movies are.
But yeah, that's... man, I almost feel like it's one of my favorites, certainly of the like modern Disney
really
movies.
quick-witted.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is that the one with David Spade?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay,
yeah, where
I've
David
seen
Spade
that
plays
one.
a llama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that
And
one.
John
'cause
Goodman?
John Goodman was in it.
Uh-huh.
I loved that.
That's a really fun movie, and I hadn't seen it in years. I remember really liking it back when it came out, and then I got the Blu-ray, which is a combo pack with Kronk's New Groove, which I've never seen, so I'll have to check that one out, but who knows.
I will say a lot of times Disney's second sequels around that time aren't that good.
Yeah.
I've never seen Kronk's though, so maybe they bucked the trend.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like I'm not a huge fan of The Lion King 2 or The Lion King 1.5.
Yep.
But totally worth checking out. It is funny though. I think that Birdman stole its score from Emperor's New Groove. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's got that same like just
Yeah.
random drum beats score to it. And I was like, holy shit! Like this is Birdman, only it's llama. So there are two things that I actually got to check out this week that I hadn't seen before though. One of them was a Matthew McConaughey movie that I had never seen.
All right.
For a long time, my mom's been telling me to see The Lincoln Lawyer, and then I got it for $1 at
it's so
at
good.
Tradesmart. Yeah, and The Lincoln Lawyer is really good.
I've seen the McConaughey movie. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think we've ever talked about it here on the show before, but
Nope.
basically it's a.
I live out of my car, guys.
I wouldn't call him like an ambulance chaser necessarily, but he's kind of like
funny?
that, where he's a what?
He's a spokesperson for Lincoln now. I was driving a Lincoln.
that's true.
Long before anybody paid me to do it.
Oh, that's so true.
Do you think that's got him the gig?
Maybe.
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 It doesn't have to do with being a tree hugger or being a hippie. That's my McConaughey.
It's not bad. So basically, McConaughey plays a lawyer who's, I wouldn't say a scumbag. He's like a lesser version of Robert Downey Jr. in The Judge, where he's a defense lawyer and doesn't really care about whether or not his person is guilty or not. And basically, it gets tied up in this whole mystery where Ryan Phillippe maybe is actually killing people, and maybe Matthew McConaughey has to figure out whether or not he is, and try to solve the mystery, and also figure out how if he is guilty, how do you, as his defense lawyer, like defend him while at the same time trying to figure out like prove and get him jailed for being guilty. And it's a really, really like neat, tight little mystery movie
where he kind of turned the corner.
Yeah.
He went away from those romantic comedies.
Yep.
And when he's in those movies, I give James a hard time, but he's a fun actor. When he's when he's in those kind of movies, you really get behind him and say, yeah, he owns these kind of movies.
Yeah. It feels like him getting back to who he was back in the like early to mid 90s, or even late 90s, when he was really just a really solid actor who could be really fun. So yeah, I think it's totally worth checking out, especially if you have a chance to like either watch it on Netflix or get it for $1 at the Tradesmart.
Yeah.
Like it's totally worth 2 hours of your time.
Oh yeah.
So it's just it's one of those movies that honestly we don't get as much as we used to. It's sort of in the vein of like a Firm or just those old sort of lawyers.
That's why I like The Judge so much, because you don't get there's not too many movies now where actors can just act.
Yeah.
And,
or where there's a good mystery.
Yeah.
It's really rare that you get a mystery that's a genuine, like, how do we solve this mystery kind of film. And this is one of those where you get the players and you get clues and that kind of stuff, and you get to try and sort of put together what's really going on. So definitely recommend that. The very last thing is I've been watching a lot of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which is the Tina Fey sort of like created by Tina Fey show that's on Netflix.
I do love the actress who plays her, Ellie Kemper.
Yeah. So premise of the show is that basically Ellie Kemper is she's she's one of the 3 mole women. So basically remember that story in Ohio where they found the like guy who had like the women tied up in his basement for fucking forever because he was a creep show. Basically she was one of those and she was in a bunker and this guy had convinced her that the apocalypse had happened. So they were all just down there like learning nonsense for 15 years. And she comes up and then she goes and gets a gay roommate and lives in Manhattan and like works as a maid for this rich woman. And it's bizarre. Like the storylines are pretty wacky. But I think it's really fun. Like I've really been enjoying it. I think there's some really funny parts to it, and it's got some hooks to it where it's trying really hard to say something important, and to be non-traditional in some ways. It's a really feminist show, and there's some things that it does where it's not telling you a story the way you would expect it to. But yeah, I like it. I mean, if you have Netflix, you should check it out. It's worth.
I have
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna watch Daredevil first.
Is it out yet?
April 10th.
I was gonna say. Well, all of the show is out. I'm almost done with it. I think it's cool. There have been some time. It took me a little while to get into, but there have been some times where I have like laughed out loud at that show, which for a sitcom for me is a little bit rare. So definitely worth it.
Cool. I'll have to check it out. I like Ellie Kemper.
She's good.
Yep. This week we saw Furious 7. Randy, should people go see Furious 7?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Oh my
I love
God,
it.
yeah.
That's so short. Now we'll get the dissertation from James. James, should people go see Furious 7?
If you like Fast and Furious movies,
yes,
then yes.
That's it. Wow.
Yep.
Right on.
Awesome.
That's it. I mean, there's not a lot. We're gonna talk about all the ridiculous shit here in just a minute.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you have to experience this movie because it's fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I think in movies nowadays, they lose the fun aspect of it.
Right.
And, we talked about earlier how you have to embrace the kind of movie you're in.
Yep.
And you either go in or you don't. And Furious 7 definitely knows what world it's in.
Oh, yeah.
And it totally embraces it. So you should definitely go see it. And here is the trailer for Furious 7.
All right, let's get to work.
Hey, Roman, you freaking out?
No.
Yes, you are.
Can somebody just walk me through what we're supposed to be doing?
Just when you didn't think it could get any better, huh?
Here we go.
Hell yeah!
Oh, shit. Oh, come on. Brian, you're up.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
You're gonna have to jump.
Dominic Toretto, you don't know me. You're about to.
Looks like the sins of London have followed us home.
Remember Owen Shaw? This is his big bad brother.
We're being hunted. One last ride. Get low when the whistle go.
Now we talk.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
This is a world that doesn't play by your rules. Like it or not, you and your friends are a part of it now.
I don't have friends. I got family.
One, can you believe there's 7 of these movies?
Oh my gosh.
That is unbelievable to me.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I think it's great, though. I think the fact that not only did they take something that I don't think could have ever made it past the first one and made 7, but each one got a little bit better, even though Tokyo Drift kind of wasn't the best of them. Every time it was just a little bit more, a little bit more. Someone I had seen on a recent, I think it was a Facebook post or something about the 7th one, and they were like, well, you should have just went back to when they were just racing cars. And it's like, well, they could have never stretched it into 7 movies if it was just racing cars.
Because the best one is Fast 5, where it's a heist movie.
Right.
Like, it has nothing to do with racing cars, other than the fact that the last action scene is this genuinely awesome car chase.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I mean, they kept with the base principle, but each time it was something different. It was, to me, it kept getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie until the 4th one. I saw the 4th one because I was dating my wife at the time.
Sure.
And she says, I love Vin Diesel. Let's go see the Fast and Furious
And you were
movie.
like, how about the pacifier? How about the pacifier?
And I said, okay, I guess. And I was watching it, and they're racing through the mines in Mexico,
Right.
and it looks like it's PS2 CGI.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is a piece of shit.
Yep.
And then Fast 5 happened, and
Yep.
and The Rock was in it.
Heck yeah.
And I was like, oh, this movie's fucking awesome.
That movie is genuinely awesome.
It is.
Heck yeah.
Fast and Furious 6 was good.
Yeah.
Not quite as... I figured any movie after 5 would be a letdown. But it still had crazy stuff. Furious 7 picks up a few years after Furious 6.
Yeah.
Where everyone's trying to go their own ways. But Jason Statham's not having it.
Nope.
I was going to watch Wild Card this week, but then I forgot that Statham was in Furious 7.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I got to watch Furious 7 before I watch Wild Card so I can make my list complete. And then I saw the trailer for Spy, which actually looks kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because, I like the part in the trailer where he's saying, and my car was flying through the air on fire. Not my car. I was literally on fire. I'm like, yeah, I love Statham. And he plays the bad. I don't know too many movies he plays the bad guy in. And in fact, I think this might be the only one because I've seen all his movies. Yeah. So in it, he plays the brother of Owen Shaw. Is he from Furious 6? I don't even remember which one he's from.
Yeah.
And so he has a personal vendetta against these guys, and a lot like last week in It Follows, he just randomly shows up and
So, if I may, because these movies, I've actually been listening to a lot of people on podcasts talking about wrestling lately, like professional wrestling, and I realized that I think I would equate these movies to that, where they're just ridiculous, and you're either going to buy in and be like, okay, this is some stupid ass shit that's happening, or you're not. For me, I buy in and it's awesome.
Yeah, because it's sweet.
The premise of this movie is that they're trying to get a piece of technology that will allow you to find any human being anywhere on the planet so that they can find a guy who shows up at the end of every action scene.
Yeah.
The guy's always there.
They said it. He said, well, now the hunter becomes the huntee, or whatever Kurt Russell said.
That's not even what happens, though.
It doesn't matter, James.
I'm just saying, it's one of those funny things that at one point I realized, wait a second, the plot of this movie is, it's like they're trying to find a treasure map to a, pile of treasure that's in their own boat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, dude, so the first fight with Statham and The Rock was awesome.
Oh my god,
it's really
They're
good.
throwing people through glass things, and it's just
and hard. We're not talking he tripped him, he pushed him. I mean, shoved him through the glass, and then he went like 15 feet across the room onto a table, into a couch on his back, and you're like, holy shit.
I will say people in my theater cheered when The Rock gave Statham the rock bottom.
Oh, fuck yeah. That was
the rock bottom
badass.
is The Rock's like signature move that he pins people with.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
That's where he throws their thing up and he slams them into the ground.
And the fact that the camera went with them, that made it so much better.
That was a great little thing that he did a lot in action
man.
scenes. James Wan is a really clever director.
This movie's got like, it has so many like hero shots and Dutch angles that it makes Michael Bay look like Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah,
like,
but a lot of fun though.
So many times. No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just mean there's so many times where they just like, he just pulls the camera back and somebody stands there.
Yeah, and I mean the scene where they're parachuting out of the airplane and they're chasing
ridiculous
that
as shit.
That's ridiculous, but the actual chase is like super well done.
Oh god, yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like on the edge of my seat. Even though this trailer spoils it, how Paul Walker's Brian gets out of it, but you're still like, is he going to make it? And the way it's played and is shot,
well,
and then
when it had, oh god, what's his name? Tony Jaa.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like seeing him in it was awesome.
Oh, he's so good.
And it's just fun, you know. It's one of those things too. You have to, as an actor, you have to embrace the world you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to go over the top. The only thing that didn't work for me in this movie is all the stupid Letty and Toretto scenes.
Right.
And
it almost seemed like they threw that in after the fact.
No, it's because Vin Diesel is an idiot and shouldn't be allowed to actually like be involved in the story at all. Because that's clearly the shit he cares about. I've said it so many times. One of the reasons why Fast 5 is the best movie in the series is because that's the movie where Letty is dead.
Right.
Like,
she's not there most
she
of the time.
ruins 6, and every scene she's in 7 is also garbage. Like,
I mean,
the fight scene's not that bad, but at least because she's not talking.
And the thing is but the thing is, they always try to tell me that Michelle Rodriguez is hardcore, and I don't buy it.
Yeah.
No.
But besides that is they don't have any chemistry at all.
Nope.
And so you're sitting there trying to get behind them, and
we got married and nobody knew it.
And see, here's the thing.
Like I said, I think that was like, I don't think that was original. I mean, well, clearly it wasn't originally there, but like, it just seems so like, well, how else are we going to throw this together at the end? Oh, by the way, there was a secret marriage, and the necklace this whole time was their wedding ring.
That's why I'm saying, like...
And why did the Asian guy have it? Why did their Asian friend have it?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying it's like professional wrestling or like a soap opera, where sometimes they just throw shit in and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who does these things?
But here's the thing.
Okay.
I bought more when Brian, Paul Walker's character, was trying to revive him. Like, it meant more to him to save Toretto than it meant to her.
Right.
And we're just like, just stop.
So that gets to a point I wanted to make, which is, and it's kind of sad, that I think this is maybe the best performance that Paul Walker has ever given. That scene when he calls his wife and that is one of the best written scenes that's been in a Fast and Furious movie maybe ever. Mm-hmm. And then his performance there is maybe the best performance he's ever given.
Here's the thing.
It's such a solid scene.
I cried at the end of this movie.
Oh, I almost did too.
Because the part where he's like picking up his son, and here's the thing, is it sounds weird, but they did such a great job. You can't tell when it's him or when it's not him.
Yeah. No,
even though his
brother, right?
Even at the end, you know that they had to put that part in there.
Yeah,
right?
that CG shot was obvious.
That was pretty solid.
But like they did such a good job, and they did all this stuff. And you know, I don't know if it's because I have a son now, and he's playing with his kid, and you know, I could have done without. They didn't need the Vin Diesel narration,
right?
I understand why they did it, but even then, I mean, it's beautiful when you see like his car go out on the off ramp and goes away. Like I seriously cried. I was like, oh.
Yep.
And I never even like the movies never meant that much to me. Yeah. But for some reason, just those moments meant a lot.
Yeah.
No,
and
I agree.
they did such a beautiful job on that movie, sending him off.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because there's there were times where I felt like we were playing like this nasty version of Russian roulette, where because there's so many times where his character almost dies, and and every time I thought, oh no, is this the time? Because you go in kind of expecting they're just going to kill the character off.
I thought the same thing. Like there were moments that, like when the first 30 minutes or so, I kept getting distracted, going, all right, so at some point he's going to end up dying, and it's going to get to that. And so the first time it almost happens, I'm all like, I had to stop focusing on it because I was losing parts of the movie.
Right.
And I just decided to say, well, fuck it. If he dies, he dies. If he doesn't, even better. I'm just going to see where it ends up. But it kept becoming a distraction.
Yeah.
So I almost, like, if they hadn't have, I mean, I hate to say it, but if it was never in the news and I didn't know he was dead, I probably would have enjoyed the movie just that much more because I would have gotten to focus on it more and actually pay attention to the movie.
I totally understand what you mean because, every time, like, when the bomb goes off at his house and he smacks against the glass really hard, and
no,
he pops up and I was like, oh shit, he's okay. And then like when his car gets shot with a rocket, and then you see like the thing in the rear view mirror where he's running away, I was like, oh shit, he's okay. Like, every time I had this, and I almost felt guilty about it, where I was like, not because I wanted him to die, but I was like I just felt bad that I kept waiting for that moment. And so I was really glad when they did this ending that was, like you said, really, really well done, like super tasteful.
Well, I think he shot most
really
of the movie
emotional.
because I think the only part I think maybe where I picked it up is where he says, well, I'm going to talk to Brian in a few days. And he goes away for about 35 minutes in the film.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't, then he just shows up again when they meet Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
And I think maybe those were the parts they had to try to figure out where to get him, and at the end.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I mean, if they did, stunt doubles or CGI faces at any other part, I didn't even notice.
Right.
And well, not that I was looking for it, but but sometimes in The Crow, you can.
It's obvious that it was exactly the same scene 4 minutes ago, only different background.
Yeah. So,
and you're like, oh, it's the same little shaky in the rain, only now he's indoor and shaky in the rain. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
But it was really, like I said, my wife made fun of me because I cried. She's like, but see, I was like, really, honey, you're not mess with that. But she was bawling her eyes out when she watched Dallas Buyers Club and Jared Leto died.
See, and I watched that movie. I liked that movie. I didn't cry at all.
No. But I don't know what it was. Just something like got me.
The end. It was a tearjerker, and I don't know why. It just I couldn't help myself.
And it might be because of the performance he gave.
Yeah.
In those scenes where he's saying that I love you, Mia, and and then he's kicking that one dude's ass, and
because for good or for bad, I've spent 7 movies with these characters.
Right.
Sometimes for good. I'll just cut to the chase. I really like Fast 5, and if I take the things about Fast 5 that I love and take that story into this one, I end up really caring about whether or not that character ends up okay.
Because, well, he wasn't in 2 or 3, was he?
No, he's in 2. He's not in 3.
Right. He was not in 3 at all.
Oh, so Vin Diesel wasn't in 2 and 3.
Right. So
technically, Vin Diesel was at the ass end of 3.
Yeah. So
that's where the little part in this one, where he's talking to the kid that was well at the end of 3, they were doing the whole race thing, and so they cut the end of the movie there. So this is basically them after that moment. On that movie. So, I mean, but yeah, the two of them weren't in Tokyo Drift at all. It was a totally different set of characters.
Vin Diesel doesn't show up at all in 2, cameo in 3, and Paul Walker's not in 3 at all. But then everything else is like, which is, the movie canon is just so screwed up and dumb.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You just got to check, it at the door. If you have to, because if you want to enjoy, I mean, there's stunts in this movie that are incredible.
Oh my God, are they incredible?
That bus scene, like that bus chase, is really pretty close to a genuinely great car chase scene. Like, I'm at a point where like I watch these movies and I feel like they tend to be like a poor man's version of really great action movies, where they'll steal cool ideas from other movies and do them again, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I mean, it was better in this other movie, but it's cool.
Right.
Like, you did a good job here too. But that bus chase is genuinely pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit too much CGI or whatever, but still pretty neat.
But the meat and bones of it, where the cars are weaving in and out, no CGI there, and I can take it.
Well, and there's a lot of layers to it. So you've got him fighting in the bus, you've got the other people in their cars, you've got the guys going down the hill. You've got Tyrese showing up out of nowhere for some goddamn reason. Why is he in the movie at all?
Right.
I think the funniest line in the movie was when Vin Diesel went and saw The Rock in the hospital. He says, I'm going to hit him so hard, he's going to wish his mom kept her legs closed that night.
That was pretty solid.
Oh man! If we're talking about
and all in front of his supposed daughter, you're like, oh my god.
If we're talking about single lines, though, the one that I will remember forever is the thing about street fights is the street always wins,
and he slams his foot down and the street,
which is
collapses.
the corniest fucking line with the shittiest ending to a villain.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Because I mean that fight was pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, I just don't like Vin Diesel. I can never
it's not
never
great.
get into him.
It's not great
because I've said before, there's an art to delivering one-liners. There's an art.
He
to
doesn't
hamming it up.
have it.
He doesn't have it.
Not even close.
unless that one line is "I am Groot."
Yeah,
and even then,
he was pretty good at that part.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know.
No, I agree.
I don't get why people like him, because to me, the heart of the movie, I think maybe that's who I got me is Paul Walker. It's his journey. I mean, I've never seen the first 3, so I don't know how he got there.
Oh, you should see the first one. It's like a bad version of Point Break.
Right. Well, and also what's like one of the great parts of the end of 7 is that they're in the same 2 cars they raced at in the very first one.
Yeah. That's true.
It's the one that at the end of the first one, he tells him, I owe you a 10-second car, and he hands him the keys. It's that car, only it's not white. It's that orange and black or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But that was, again, that's part of it that like you're saying, after 7 of these movies, you become attached to these characters and these people. And you're like, oh, that was when he gave him the car, and it's the same thing, and they're doing it, only it's white, like he's going to heaven.
Yeah, and they do all those like the flashback things where they go
where
and
you catch the little pieces.
And they go get that really good speech from Fast Five where he's like, the most important thing is the people in this room, which is way better written than any of the most important thing is family speeches that Vin Diesel has in every other one.
I was getting kind of sick and tired of the family speech.
Family and Coronas, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for the fact that, like, Vin Diesel gives himself so many fucking one-liners and none of them land, and all The Rock gets is, Daddy's gotta go to work, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Daddy's gotta go to work was so cool.
That's the thing with that moment with, The Rock, is because I was in the trailer.
And I knew it was coming.
He flexes and he breaks the cast.
Oh my god!
And then where does all his equipment come from in the hospital room?
I don't give a shit. I think his daughter carries it around in her backpack just in case his dad ever needs it.
Here's the thing: you have to totally suspend your belief, because there's a part where a drone is chasing him through a tunnel, and I don't know how The Rock timed it perfectly in the ambulance he's on, but he drives the ambulance,
see it,
and hits the drone. And what made it even cooler is, I saw in the trailer that he had the Gatling gun.
Right.
I didn't know he ripped it off of the drone.
I didn't know. Right.
After he double taps it.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid.
The Rock can pull it off, though.
Yeah, absolutely he can. Absolutely. Because that's the thing. Like, the movie's written as if Vin Diesel and The Rock and Jason Statham are basically superheroes, but The Rock you believe is a superhero.
Well, yeah, 'cause
when he falls out of that building at the beginning, you're like, he can get up. He's okay. Like, he'll be fine.
Well, that's the thing, too, is, even at the end of the movie where The Rock says, well, you got 39 feet of concrete, and I'll be up there with my fist in a body bag. Yeah.
Just start digging.
It's so fucking good.
It's awesome. I would see a movie with just The Rock and Jason Statham going at it.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
Yeah. So here's the thing. One of the things that, like, I hope that they, especially since you have to move a different direction now that Paul Walker's gone, I hope that what they do is they just take these characters, make them into the A-Team, and move away from all of this, like, dramatic shit. Like, if I never see Letty talk about the fact that she can't remember herself anymore, I will be happy.
Well, that's the thing, too, is, like I say, you just don't buy it. Like, there's no chemistry
it's
there.
Just so dumb.
No.
And why does Vin Diesel just know that he wants to smash her gravestone, and he has a sledgehammer? He's like, what the hell? And here's the funny thing is I kept on looking at Vin Diesel's feet. I'm like, oh, look at how big of the lifts he has in his shoes.
He has way too much creative license in this movie.
Yeah, I understand that he's was probably the reason why 4 got made. And,
he totally is. Yeah,
and I understand that, but
that
I don't know. Is there a person besides my wife who likes Vin Diesel? I mean, even his head's misshapen. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, no, I think I liked him better in the Pitch Black movie.
I was just gonna say Pitch Black
Yeah,
is
Pitch
more
Black,
than,
but then he did Riddick stuff, and you're like, he sucks.
Well, again, it just like that was just
serious deep dicking.
It just got
fuck.
Like what was the last one? The fourth one or whatever was pretty much Pitch Black all over again.
Oh yeah, just Riddick. Yeah,
just different characters, and you're like, I've seen this movie. I
Right.
own this movie. Why are we doing this again?
Well, because this time we've got the girl from Battlestar Galactica who needs a serious deep dicking.
Clearly.
Yeah. So
fucking movie.
Maybe I don't think they need to make any more Furious movies. I think it was
It's gonna happen.
I know. I think
That's
it was
the
a
sad part.
I think it was a great send off because
I think this is the perfect end. This would, if they leave it alone, it would be just fine.
And the funny thing is, I was thinking like, man, how are they going to end this? And it makes the most sense as he gets on an off ramp,
Right.
And
Yeah.
he leaves,
Right.
It's just like
that's-
poetic,
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to be the family man like he wanted, and everybody else goes to their lives where they still have, what was it, $100 and some million from the heist movie, and
sure
that would leave it be. You're done. You're good. No more enemies. No more burials. No more graves. Whatever. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that. I want The Rock to drive some cars, like preferably large cars, and get out of them with machine guns,
and just kicks the windshield out.
Oh man, can they make a crossover where it's Fast and Furious and G.I. Joe, where they reveal that The Rock is actually playing whatever his character's name is in G.I. Joe?
Oh god,
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I will take the Rock in anything.
Roadblock or whatever.
Even San Andreas looks stupid, but the Rock's in it. So
Yep.
Oh my god,
San Andreas
yeah.
looks stupid as shit.
So yeah, so what trailers did you guys see? Like
I got San Andreas and I got Spy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually all I got.
So
Which
I
was
got
that. What I wanted was Mad Max.
Oh,
I know
see.
that when I saw the Village Roadshow and Warner Brothers, I'm like, oh, so we haven't seen the new Mad Max one, and then it was San Andreas.
Oh, see,
So I was less excited.
I got San Andreas. I got Mission Impossible.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
got the weird one with George Clooney in the make believe world. I didn't catch what that was.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah. Although I still think I probably want to see that one.
Yeah, you do.
The new Terminator.
Sweet.
Which
sure.
I know you guys weren't too. At least I know you weren't particularly fond of the last one, but I really think that as long as they see, I feel the same with this one as I did with Furious 7. Is if they end it and it's done, I will be okay with this next Terminator movie. If they go
That's
with
not
that
gonna
one,
happen.
and I know, and it's not like, but maybe if I just tell myself that, like if
Right.
I just watch this one and go, and that's all, and somebody goes, what about the other 3 after it? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of it. You're crazy. Because I love it. I love the fact that it looks like it was them going back in time to 1980, whatever.
I think it's a really cool premise, and I
do too.
I've always thought that the Terminator universe is fucked up and backwards and stupid anyway. So who cares if you're going to screw with the story?
Well, right.
Just make me a cool. Can I see some Terminator? Can I see Arnold Schwarzenegger be invincible and fight some shit? That's what I want.
That's what I want. And like where they're going back, and like it's kind of funny because they have which one was it? The T-1000 was the liquid metal.
Yeah.
So they have him, but it's an Asian dude.
Yeah.
But it's an Asian dude that looks like Robert Patrick in the face a little bit. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I could see that. I'm a little perturbed that the guy that played Kyle Reese was a far skinnier, lanky dude.
Yeah.
And this new guy is not.
Yeah.
Like he's ripped, and I'm like, okay, not exactly, but I think I could still watch it. It's got a lot of action in it. At one point, Schwarzenegger becomes a missile. He just jumps out of a helicopter and just points himself forward and runs through another helicopter to stop it. And you're like, oh my god, that was awesome. He's like, wait, I'm a bullet. Here you go.
I think it's cool. I'm genuinely kind of excited about it.
Yep. I can't wait to see that. I definitely want to see the Mission Impossible one because that looks badass. Oh, the James Bond fan that I am, Spectre.
Oh,
I
you
saw
got a
that
Spectre
one.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my god, that looks so good.
Yeah.
There for a while, some of the podcasts that I listen to, one of them is James Bonding, and they do, it's two guys named Matt that talk about the movies, and they started from one, but then they backtracked because it was Casino Royale that came out at the time they started it. So they did the first one, and then the last one, and then the second one, and the second to last, and the idea was they were going to meet in the middle.
Ah.
And so, I mean, it's not bad. It's really good. They talk about it. These two are extraordinary fans, so they know, like, the music that it was supposed to be instead of the music that it is.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, so I've been looking forward to this one ever since they got the rights to Spectre back when the guy that owned it died.
Right.
They're like, oh, by the way, well, we can do another movie now.
Yeah.
So I really look forward to that one too.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I think it's going to be really cool.
But yeah, didn't mean to sidetrack, but they were some awesome trailers.
What are we talking about?
Spectre,
the new James Bond.
Spectre. Right. Oh, okay.
It took you a second.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a good summer.
I'm looking forward to it.
There was a Slash Film article that was like the top 30 summer movies that they're looking forward to, and I was going through it like, oh man, the fact that Avengers was not their number one, that they made Mad Max their number one, I was like, actually, I'm kind of on board with that at this point, because it's been years in the making. Like,
so
I'm just saying, like they've proven to me they can make an Avengers movie. The hype for me on Mad Max is getting pretty high, in a dangerous way.
Then I hope it sucks.
In a really dangerous way.
What are we seeing next week, James?
I have no clue. Do you want to do that thing where every now and then we sit here for a second and we figure out what we're doing next week?
We can thank Randy for coming on again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is Ex Machina out next week? I think it's limited. I think it's limited release. Can we see that? Where can we see that?
Is Ex Machina playing at our local Alamo Draft House? We have to look that up, because if not, I think it's The Longest Ride.
God damn, I'm not seeing The Longest Ride. I do not have time for this shit. Because I am really excited about Ex Machina.
Me too.
Really cool.
I think it looks like a blend of sci-fi horror.
Yeah, which I'm a huge Sunshine fan, so we literally Friday is not on their schedule. All right, well, we'll look at Saturday and see if Ex Machina is on there. All right, they just haven't built their schedule yet, so I think it is.
Yeah, if it's a Draft House recommends, it usually is, unless it's like It Follows and it
gets kicked. But
yeah, but I haven't heard the same kind of buzz about Ex Machina.
We'll go see something.
We will see something.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Yep,
it'll be something.
We'll
figure it out.
Hopefully, it'll be Ex Machina. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Randy, thanks for coming on the show.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been cool.
Until next week. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find them on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.
Awesome.
It's fun.
I sold my Edge of Spider-Verse 2 for $65 online. I was sold.
I was actually showing my wife yesterday or the day before. I said, "Look, want to see the comic I have that's just shot up in value?" I went on to my comic shop. Like, a fine copy of Spider-Verse 2 is like $130.
Yeah,
near mint is like $200.
Yeah, mine was smashed something awful on the bottom left-hand corner. But I bought it after the fact because I was like, well, everybody seems to like it. I should probably read it. So it was in our damages, so I think I paid like $1.25 for it.
Nice.
And I read it, and I'm like, all right, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
Then the second and third printings came out, and I got one of those, and I sold the other one. I was like,
nice.
Why not,
Yeah, actually, I have one of the variants, too, is for the first issue. It's like a 1 in 50.
Adam Hughes?
Not the Adam Hughes. It's the other one. It's the one where she's like flying through the moon. At my comic shop, Andrew gave it to me like $14.
That's not bad.
It's like $100 now.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. I never thought I'd see a time when I have a 45-year-old Spider-Man comic that's $29, $35, whatever.
Right.
And just new stuff is like out of control and
something
super expensive.
You literally could have gotten 3 weeks ago. That's an $85 book, and you're like, I don't even know why. But I mean, it's not like print runs are scarce or anything. I mean,
yeah,
they printed out tons of them.
Yeah, I mean, the Spider-Verse 2 I can see is going to be a little low because I think no one anticipated how big it would be. Well, even all the Spider-Verse, though, I think it's the first or the third one, too, is like $30, $40.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, we still have number ones that are selling off the shelf, but we ordered like 150 copies. We expected that, Same thing with like Star Wars, which is ridiculous. I have no idea why people want Star Wars so bad.
I think that Darth Vader is pretty good.
That one, I understand. Like, I even read, I think the third one, they sent us a PDF of it.
Yeah.
It was all right. I still won't buy it, but I enjoyed reading it, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because, the third one, too, is blowing up because there's some female bounty hunter.
Ooh.
And Andrew forgot to put it in my hold slot. And I was there, and I just happened to say, hey, man, did, Darth Vader 3 come out? And he says, yeah. I said, oh, you didn't put my hold slot. He's like, you're lucky I have one left. Because I got there on a Thursday, so it released the day before.
Right.
They're already selling for like $15 online.
I'm telling you, I don't get it. One of the books I liked the most was The Woods, and it's in like issue 12 or something right now. And I think it took 2 or 3 weeks, and the first issue was going for $50. I'm like, man, it's an indie. Like, most people didn't even want it.
Well, that happened with Saga. James actually gave me the first issue of Saga, and
it's like a $200 book, by the way.
Yeah, I still have mine.
It was funny because James was like, "Oh, they accidentally got 2 of these. You can have one."
Oh well.
And then it was like 2 or 3 months later, it was already like at $70. I'm like, wow.
I didn't accidentally. I knew he wasn't going to get a copy. I bought 2 on purpose.
But he knows what I like, and it's a great series. So
yeah, cool.
We're
good.